Pub Sports Radio is very excited to announce the dates for Pubba Palooza 4. The most exciting weekend of the gambling year. Round 1 of March Madness. It's all going down in San Antonio, Texas at the Southtown 101, Thursday the 20th till Sunday the 23rd. It's going down, baby.
Scheduled events every day that weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's all going down in Southtown 101. Come hang out with some of your favorite Pub Sports Radio personalities.
Oof, I can't wait. Meet us in Texas, baby. It's going down.
Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for Pub Sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Oh, look at Nuss Flush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Ken. Kenny Ken wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Ken, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97 home. That is here comes Jason Meyer, the other auto custodian, Billy Friedrich. Jones one, they're all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
more dapper than a dawn. For the young phenom known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, but we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio Bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this they quit the trip. But we say we be pubbing. Baby, with the bag and you love it. We want it top 10, we above it. Let's check.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Happy holidays from Pub Sports Radio. My name's Peter Loshak. We do this every Tuesday, including holidays. Christmas Eve is today. We're going to do a show today. We're going to cover 18 bowl games with Dabby Cab. Got a bunch of bets I'm liking. We'll discuss them a little bit in depth. I still think Syracuse has some value even after the massive move. Still liking TCU as far as favorites are concerned. East Carolina, Louisiana Tech. Those are some dogs I'm thinking about. We're going to talk about the BYU-Colorado game. That's an incredibly fascinating game. I think I'm going to pass on that one. But, of course, Heisman Trophy in that one. And Deion Sanders' kid at quarterback. Incredible bowl there. Maybe the over on that one. But that'll be interesting to talk about. I don't know if I'm going to bet that one. But we're going to cover 18 bowls in today's show with Dabby Cab. Some of them have good bets. Some of them are probably going to be passes, but interesting situations. We'll see what the comments section has to say. And then we'll talk about the 5 Christmas Day NBA games, which I haven't looked into too deeply, but that's why we got Billy Brisbane. He's going to give us his thoughts. Of course, we're still a day away. They don't go tonight. And it's good. We're in a happy, festive holiday mood right now. Huge shout out to everyone, whatever you celebrate, be it Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, Festivus, anything else, all of it. Doesn't matter how whacked out or obscure it is. We respect it here at Pub Sports Radio. Happy holidays to everyone. We're going to cover it. It's going to be a fun, no pressure here. No, there we go. Jose Bouquett. What do you celebrate in the holiday season? You look like you celebrate something fun.
I celebrate the survival of another year, Pete.
Oh,
come on.
See, there you go. And that's the main thing that should be celebrated. Absolutely. I think we should have a gambler's holiday for us.
What would you get a gambler?
Sports betting, whatever they are. Dishonesty, immaturity.
Sure.
Whining.
What would you purchase for a sports gambler, Pete? What kind of present? You gonna buy him a future?
Well, I would buy a bankroll at they should do that. Do these like sports books offer like gift bankrolls that you can give? If they don't, that's a fucking $1 million idea right there. Just thought of it.
There you go, Pete. Pete's gonna start his own sports book, and they're gonna go broke by giving their money to other people.
No, like a gift card. Can you do sports books? I've never even actually seen that.
That would be funny if you could give someone $100 gift card to Circus Sportsbook.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, free.
There we go, Pete. I'm gonna DM them now and be like, "Hey guys, I got $1 million idea for you. Gift cards."
It's a good idea. Holy shit! Can't believe I just thought of it. All right, let's glance at the comments section, and we will go over 18 bowls. I'm having a pretty good bowl season. Got a bunch of bets on the bowls that are coming up. The NBA games from Christmas Day. For NBA, I do a lot of stuff that's like right before tip-off and then at halftime. Pre-game, I'm not so good at NBA. We're going to talk about those games with Billy Brisbane. Huge shout out to Nutflush16 in the comment section. Truth Teller. There you go. RVD. Everyone's here. Nunya Kong's Clips. You absolutely can get MGM gift cards at Walmart. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I don't play at MGM or go to Walmart. So that's why I wouldn't know that. But yeah, obviously. That's the most obvious idea in the world. I'm sure that we didn't just think of that just now. The Sweaty Butcher. Hell yeah. Shout out to everyone. Nunya. All right. Help us with with whatever bowl games you've looked at. Justin McElvey. There's one bowl game today and tonight, and Justin McElvey likes San Jose State -3. I'm going to pass on this one, I think. Of course, San Jose State has an awesome wide receiver who's going to go to the NFL. He is not going to play in that bowl game. They are still a favorite, though, over South Florida. I don't know. We'll discuss it with Dabby Cab and whatever people in the comment section have to say. Justin McElvey liking San Jose State. Sure, why not? If you gave me a free MGM play right now on that one, I'd probably throw it on the over, even though it's already a high total. But Truth Teller, Tone Miggins in the comment section. Shout out to Tone Miggins. Hell yeah. True Allah, Fourth One, Ent LLC. Shout out to you, Joey Harb. All right. Nunya. There you go. Justin Loshak, you keep butchering my name. I don't know. A lot of people think I do that on purpose for comedic value, and I appreciate the comedic value when I butcher names, but I actually don't do it on purpose. I just can't fucking read that well. That's really the honest truth. Dougie Wise, huge shout out to everyone. JPZ, everyone's here. Look at this.
Yeah, come on.
7-2.
Christmas Eve show. Everyone's got to show up.
Yeah, hell yeah. Look at this. Evelyn Cueto, the play is Florida spread. Pay attention to how the line is moved. I assume he's talking about South Florida. Yeah, we will talk about that. Maybe after talking about it, I'll make a bet. As of right now, I've got a bunch of bowl game bets right now so far, but I passed on the one tonight. San Jose State. Huge shout out to you, Justin McElvey. What's the correct way? What's the respectful way to pronounce? I'm not butchering Justin, am I?
No, it's McKelvey.
Husteen? No?
McKelvey.
Oh, McKelvey. Okay, got it. Husteen McKelvey. Shout out to you. Love seeing you. Love seeing the Stacks play of the day, every week from Husteen McKelvey. Truth Teller, Joey B. Yes, Kong Flips Peter plays for college football playoffs. If you want me to hop on, sure. Can we?
Sure, Kong. I'll send you the link. Pete, we're going to talk college football playoffs today as well. You interested?
I thought we were just talking the 18 bowl games up until next Tuesday, right?
No, we are, but I'm just asking you if you are interested here, Pete, because that's what Kong should be talking about.
Sure. We'll talk about it. Whatever we got. Rebecca Evans. Hell yeah. Cool.
Well, we'll talk about all the playoff games at the end of the program.
Going to bowl. And Joey B is in Arizona for the Snoop Dogg Arizona Ball, and he insights Colorado State, Miami, Ohio. I mean, we'll talk about that with Dabby Cab. That's one where it's very even. I mean, obviously, first glance, it's the Miami, Ohio quarterback Gappert's. He's had a great career, and it's his last game. So, not that Colorado State's going to roll over. I'd be leaning Miami, Ohio -3 because of that. The losses, if I recall correctly, for both teams are roughly even. Colorado State's not a pushover, but I'd be leaning Miami, Ohio on that one. Probably if Miami Ohio's down at the half, I'd almost certainly be looking at them second half. But full game, that is not a game that I bet. It's one that I passed on for now.
Let's get into all these games. Pete, our guest is ready back there. Yes. He's had a big weekend himself.
All right. Everyone, welcome to the show. Dabby Cab. Dabby Cab had a big weekend. How you doing, baby?
I had a what?
You had a big weekend, Cab.
Of what?
You got a puppy. Who cares about sports gambling? You got a puppy. That's much more important.
Yeah, I was like, no, I didn't have a big weekend. I lost my bets. I don't know what you're talking about. This weekend sucked.
Hey, you had a nice pup, and that makes everything better. So shout out to you.
Yep.
Dabby Cab obviously has his priorities correct in life. What's more important, sports betting wins or losses, or a puppy?
That puppy wants to eat, doesn't it, Pete?
Exactly. That's not a hard one. You know what I mean? What's more important, sports betting wins or losses, or your family, or your kids? That's the tougher one. But a puppy.
Sports betting, obviously.
Of course. Obviously. Yeah. All right. No, I'm kidding around. Sports betting wins and losses is like top 20, but there's like 18 other things in life that are more important. We know that. All right, Dabby Cab, let's get into it. You ready, Dabby?
Good to go.
All right. Now, I don't know how much you prepared fully for all these 18 bowls. I am more fully prepared for some than others. Tonight is the Hawaii Bowl, South Florida against San Jose State. And, of course, San Jose State has that guy, Nick Nash, who is, huge wide receiver for them. He is not going to be playing. He opted out. They are still the favorite, though. South Florida is about 50-50 ATS overall on the year, and San Jose State beat Stanford in their last game, but they were not good ATS before that. It seemed like the line has been moving in San Jose State's favor. It was like 2.5, then up to 3, juiced to San Jose State. Now it's back down. South Florida juiced. Someone earlier in the show was saying that look at the line movement that tells you South Florida is probably the play here. That makes sense to me. I might actually tail that. I don't think I'm going to give it officially, but as of right now, I would definitely throw it on South Florida +3, although the Stacks play of the day is San Jose State. And despite the offensive losses for San Jose State, this does have shootout written all over it. I like the over when it was 62.5. Now it's all the way up to 65 juiced, so I'd lean that way as well. Probably the South Florida team total over is worth a shot. Dabby Cab, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, like you said at the top, I mean, most of these games I won't just have bets for, but we could talk about it. This one for me, I mean, it's you're judging it based off line movement, like you said. And if the line movement's telling you South Florida, that's the only way I'd look. And really, we touched on this last week, and believe it or not, Pete, several of those games we broke down, I should have bet because we were right on point with what our breakdowns were. But if you don't have money on it, that don't.
Well, which games?
Matter.
I think I probably did bet them. Which games you talk about in particular?
Shoot, I'd have to now that you're putting me on the spot, I have to go back and listen. But I mean, across the board, even the small, you did have some bets on them across the board. The smaller ones, you had some team totals and stuff like that.
Oh, I bet Memphis. Absolutely, that was an official play of mine. I was all over UTSA yesterday. I don't think we covered that one, but
I had Memphis as well.
Interestingly, the Ohio game, the line mattered. I gave it a 3. It went all the way up to like 6 or 6.5, and of course they won by 3. So these line moves do matter. You want to try to beat the line move, although you can sometimes.
Yeah, that's so. In the bowl games, the line movement matters more than ever, right? Like during the regular season, you have some people who follow it, some people who don't. But right now in the bowl season, all I can say is really pay attention to it. I just think San Jose State here is probably just, even with missing, Nash and some of these players, I just think they're the better team here. If they don't turn the ball over, I think we see a lot of points, and I think San Jose State probably covers.
Okay, that is in agreement with the Justin McKelvey Stacks play of the day. Although someone else was saying, look, in Florida is the right way to go. And again, I was liking the over. Free play right now on this game, I'd throw it on the South Florida team total over, which would be 29.5, juiced high at some places, and like about 30.5, juiced less at others. But I'll hold off as far as an official play is concerned. But it's definitely an interesting game. This is definitely one of those bowls where, anything could happen. Any result would not be a huge shock. I'm going to pass as far as an official play is concerned. Let's see if anyone in the comments section likes anything here. Yeah. We got some opinions, but that's about it. I hope you all cash. I'm going to pass for now. All right, let's move on. Dabby Cab. Next bowl game that we're going to cover is the Game Above Sports Bowl, Pitt Toledo. Now, this is an interesting one. Pitt, of course, started the year great ATS. They lost 4 of their last 5 against the spread and by margins, and they lost them straight up. And then Toledo also lost 4 out of their last 5 ATS, all by margins. Overall, they were crappy ATS as well. So 2 teams that closed the year significantly overvalued. Big issue here is Holstein, the quarterback for Pitt. Is he going to play? I'm pretty sure that he is. I was digging around. I have written my notes that Holstein is going to play. I don't know if anyone has any deeper information on that, but I'm assuming that he is going to play. And
I have something in front of me that says unclear, but I don't know. I mean, maybe you have more recent information.
I believe I'm reading between the tea leaves, and I think he is going to play. When I first looked at this game a while ago, I thought Toledo was a good play to keep it tight, and the Pitt's head might not be in it. So I actually did bet Toledo pretty significantly at the opening lines. It now has moved in Toledo's favor, but I took it all back. Going, as we get closer to kickoff, I'm liking Pitt more and more. They earlier in the season they were ranked, and they were, the people were talking about them for the college football playoffs, and then they had a bunch of injuries in November that really held them down. And this rest should help them a lot, I think. And overall, they're just a better team than Toledo, of course, and they should be motivated here, I think. And so at first I liked Toledo. Now I'm liking Pittsburgh. I hedged out of all my my bets, my early bets on Toledo. Thankfully, the line moved in my favor. The Pitt has an elite defensive line that should dominate Toledo, and I think I would also be leaning under here, but mostly I'm looking at Toledo to at Pitt to definitely win, probably cover. If Toledo's up at the half, I'll be looking at Pitt second half, but I'm just liking Pitt in general at anything -7 or better. What do you think, Dabby Cab? Anything?
Well, I feel like a dick when I say I don't have a ton of thoughts, and then I
no, that's okay.
Give opposite thoughts here. But this Pitt team, from what I'm looking, we got you got 16 Panthers that are going to be out in this game due to injury or transfer.
Right. Yes.
I mean, God, that's almost a lot. I mean, Tulane only had 20 players when they played Army. I'm just kidding, but that's what it looked like. I mean, 16 people is a bunch. And then this is one of those things where, and then on the other side, Toledo's going to be out only 4 players. This is one of those things where it's just like, does Pitt care? Are the people that are stepping up and playing for these 16 people, are they freshmen that are looking to take the spot next year? Or are they people who have been in the program that suck, that are just kind of there, as bodies for practice? 16 is a huge number to replace here. That's the only thing I would get at. And is how unpredictable bowls are. Shit, if I had one bet, I would make a small bet on the Toledo money line simply because of the value for the players being out. And this is where, if Toledo's ever going to beat Pitt, this is where it's going to happen. It's not going to happen in the regular season. Yeah, I mean, you said something that hints at something that is very important. The more uncertainty, the more value there is on big dog lines. And didn't this open at 9 when you got in on Toledo? Yeah. Yes. But I took it all back at 7 though. I think you're right. If Toledo wins outright, will not be a shock at all. But my initial bets on Toledo were based on how many players Pitt was losing, and that Toledo would probably be good enough to hang tight. But now looking at it more, I'm liking Pitt more and more. And if the quarterback is back, and they had they do have a lot of guys out, but they also have a lot of guys in, and I think injuries downgraded them significantly. I'm sorry, go ahead. We used to say like 5 people being out was a lot. 16 is hard for me to wrap that's a whole new team. You're going out for your first game of the season with a whole new team, basically. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I think that Pittsburgh's big strength is one of their big strengths, their defensive line. Those guys should be in from what I'm seeing. And the Toledo offense was particularly bad on their offensive line. I think it's a big mismatch in favor of Pittsburgh. And then if the quarterback Holstein's back for Pittsburgh, I do think they'll have enough, of a talent edge and a motivational edge to probably be. Again, I bet Toledo early. That was one of my, I had like a bunch of early picks that I liked roughly equally, and that was one of them. I took Toledo, but I'm off it now. I'm not going to give Pittsburgh as an official play right now. But if I didn't have any positions and you gave me a free play, I probably would throw it on Pittsburgh. Let's see what people are saying here. Nunya says Toledo has athletes, Pitt has dogs. And here you go. Justin McKelvey, I live in Pittsburgh. Promise these boys care, and so do the coaches. Yeah, reading between the tea leaves, reading the all the press that I was reading, that was the sense that I got. I got the sense that that because of injuries, they were maybe the overall read on them is a little bit undervalued right now. And so it scared me off. It's the only early bet that I made that I flipped on. And so, I'll lose a little if I don't get a middle, but if I get a middle, I'll hit it all. Action Jackson leaning Pittsburgh -6.5. Dougie Wise, thing that concerns me is Toledo will definitely be up for this game. Will Pitt? I think they will. Again, based on what I've been reading, especially if that quarterback is back from injury, because Pittsburgh had an underwhelming year. And, in general, you know about college sports, Dabby Cab. If there's a team that had an underwhelming year because they just had bad character, then I like to fade them in the postseason. But if they had an underwhelming year that was in large part due to injuries, then I like to bet on them in the postseason. And there was one March Madness year where that was the exact situation with Louisville in college basketball. And here's the puppy. The chat wanted to see her. Here's the puppy that I got. The chat wanted to see her. Very baby. Man. She's a little scared. All right. That is way more important than sports betting wins and losses. Now look at it. Right. Well, other than the fact that we got to win so she can eat. That's it. Yeah, you got to. You guys don't want that dog. If you guys love that dog, if it's cute, you better hope I win so it can get some kibbles and bits. She'll be all right. Dogs know how to feed themselves. It's humans who don't know how to feed themselves. Dogs, they'll fucking figure out a way. All right. Action Jackson leans Pittsburgh -6.5. I do as well. Again, strong edge in the trenches for Pittsburgh. Toledo easily could win outright. So that's it. That's it for that game. No official play for me, though. All right, let's move on, Dabby Gab. Ready? Let's go, Pete. Next one, another interesting one. The Rate Bowl in Arizona, Rutgers and Kansas State. Rutgers. Did that dog just take my joint? I'm sorry? Did that dog just take my joint? See, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Oh, there it is. All right, Dabby, good. Got it. All right. There we go.
So Rutgers, solid team, covered 3 of their last 4, all by margins. Kansas State lost 4 of their last 5 ATS, and they were underwhelming ATS all year long. Rutgers lost their defensive coordinator, and as you know, Dabby Cab, losing players is important. Losing coaches, and especially coordinators, can be devastating and pretty under the radar as well. It was definitely a disappointing season for Kansas State. They were thinking about, they could maybe play for the Big 12 championship game, maybe make the college football playoff, right? They lost 3 of the last 4 games. Right? They were not good ATS. Rutgers started the season well. They lost after that. And once again, I know that, in general, in bowl games, I lean towards dogs, but here, leaning towards Kansas State, despite the fact that they've been bad ATS all season long. This is a bowl game, different situation, and Rutgers losing their defensive coordinator, I think, is big. And, both teams run first offenses. I also would lean towards the under here. It's a surprisingly high total. So my lean would be Kansas State, lean would be under, and lean would be Rutgers team total under. I don't know if you looked at this one at all, but Kansas State also has a quarterback who, flawed, but should be okay. He struggled under pressure all season long, but again, Rutgers defense might be downgraded significantly here because of losses and the coordinator. Go ahead, Dabby.
I'll say this for everyone: when it comes to like the reason I say I haven't bet these yet, with bowl games, I'm going to look the morning before the game at who's playing and who's not again, and then I'm going to place my bet. Okay, like right. I can tell you guys what I like and what I think, and usually we can give them early. I have looked like I've paid attention to Kansas State and Rutgers all year, Pete. So I know these teams. It's just a matter of like the finalizing, like who's in the lineup, who's playing, and stuff like that. And from what I see, you've got a sophomore QB in Avery Johnson who's going to be playing. If anybody has any other understanding, let me know.
No, he's it.
Yeah, okay. That's a huge part for me. It's like when you got a young quarterback, Florida is another example of a game that I think we capped perfectly that I didn't bet. I knew Florida was going to dominate. I just knew it because Lagway was coming up. They have hope for the future. You got a sophomore quarterback playing for Kansas State. He is their future. I think you build around that. And when you've got a building piece for these bigger schools, it's not as scary. But when you're missing the quarterback, you're missing the defensive coordinator, you're missing your top receivers. I'm not betting them. I'll take the small school every day of the week in the bowl game in that situation. That's not what we have here for Kansas State. I think Kansas State is going to be, fully involved in this football game. And if that's the case, I like Kansas State to cover this number and win by 10 or more points. So I will probably be on Kansas State. I just want to reiterate, guys, I want to look at it again before it kicks off. That's all it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd feel much more comfortable. Obviously, it was Kansas State just on the money line, but that's why you pay the big juice for that. Kansas State also lost their running back, but I think that the guy who's going to replace him, Dylan Edwards, is fully motivated, should be just as good. So again, I do like the under. Let's see where the under was like 51 or so earlier, and I'm sure it's down to just 50.5, which is a little bit surprising though. If the under was a really good bet, maybe that line would have moved, and then the line is is holding right at 7. Actually, it's moved a little bit in Rutgers' favor, which is understandable as far as the spread is concerned. This has
it's moved
relatively significant edge for Kansas State, but nevertheless relatively close and low scoring written all over it. Does it not, Dabby Cab?
So here's what I got for Kansas State, Pete. I got right tackle Willis is going to be out. You said it, the running back Giddens, he's going to the NFL. You got the cornerback Jacob Parrish, who's transferred. You got the right wide receiver Johnson, who's going to transfer. You've got the defensive back Stinger, who's going to transfer, and then the cornerback Dunbar that's going to transfer. I'm not trying to shit on cornerbacks or anything, but like that's the least intimidating transfer portal I've ever seen. And you knew that Giddens was going to the NFL. That shouldn't surprise anybody, right? So as far as Kansas State goes, I'm good with that.
Yeah. I would love to take Rutgers team total under 21.5 at about minus 115, minus 120 or so. Would love to take under 50.5, minus 110, maybe go to 51 at minus 118. Would love to take Kansas State minus 6.5, minus 125, something like that. I don't know. What should I make official? I have bet Kansas State a little bit, spread and money line.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like Kansas State here. Like I said, you might as well make that official for me, but I'm just waiting till I see it. So anybody who follows me, like you know, might as well.
Action Jackson leans Kansas State -6.5. Justin McAfee says Rutgers +7. Clint Zerligan says, when are we getting Cons clips on the screen? These guys killing these bowl games. Yeah, let's get them on. Until then, this is all you got. I apologize. We are doing our best, though. Huge shout out to Cons clips. All right. I guess I'll hold off as far as an official play is concerned. Definitely leaning Kansas State under and the Rutgers team total under, and we'll have some bets on those. All right, the next game. Ready, Dabby Cap?
Asking you shall receive.
Oh, shit. Congs Clips, are you ready for any bowl game or just the playoffs, or what are you prepared for?
I'm ready. I've made moves on a couple bowl games and pretty much all the playoffs. So
okay. So you want to hang out just the whole show and look at and just, if you got anything to say, just shout it out?
Yep, I'm here with you, Pete. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to you, Clint Zerligan. It's what a Christmas miracle. It's a Christmas miracle, Clint Zerligan. He says, when are we getting Congs Clips on the screen? 30 seconds later, we get Congs Clips on the screen. Here we go. Now we are blessed. All right, so Congs Clips, would you roughly agree or disagree with my take on the Kansas State game, leaning Kansas State, leaning under, leaning Rutgers team total under?
I'm not on the game. I lean the under as well. Was kind of leaning Rutgers, but hadn't got into
That's the
all
points,
the
right?
opt-outs and transfers and whatnot.
Yeah, all right. And the market has
under.
certainly moved in Rutgers' favor just a little bit, at least recently. So, it does seem like my read on it is Kansas State big edge to win, but not necessarily to cover. All right, let's move on to the next game. I did bet this one. Arkansas State Bowling Green. It's in Alabama 68 Ventures Bowl. And I took Bowling Green on this one. The line has moved in their favor. I think it's moving even more. Now it's up to like 8 or something. I took it, 7 when it was down a little bit. Bowling Green, good year. They had been winning. Bad loss in their last game, but in general, before that, had been winning. Arkansas State, very 50-50 ATS. And Bowling Green has a bunch of loss on offense, but one of the big guys is tight end Harold Fannin Jr. is going to be playing in this game. He's awesome. He's looking to break some tight end records and everything. The guy's a stud, and he will be playing in this game. Arkansas State has a very vulnerable defense in, against just an average college football team. They should be vulnerable here. They've got like injuries and stuff like that. So it's just not a good spot for Arkansas State defensively. So I do like Bowling Green and also the Bowling Green team total over. Bowling Green has a quarterback who also should be good. I would also like the over in general. Arkansas State, their strength for this game should be their offense as well. Relatively low total. So, I'm leaning definitely Bowling Green team total over, definitely over. And I bet Bowling Green pretty big before the move, and I'd bet him here if I hadn't made the bets. What do you think? You agree with that, Dabby or Congs Clips?
Yeah, I put Bowling Green out on my X at 6.5. I love Bowling Green here. Yeah. I do think they put up some points, and generally don't think that Arkansas State's going to be able to keep up.
Yeah, I agree. The line is now 7.5 juiced to Bowling Green, so clear market move in favor of Bowling Green, and I will make that an official play. I'll start right now. My first official play of the show. I will take Bowling Green, and I won't do that. I won't go for 7 minus 133. I think they should roll. I'll just take 7.5 minus 113. I'm also going to take first half. I think they probably come out strong, and maybe like the Ohio game, first half is a much better bet for them. So I'll take that as well. First half line is about 4.5. I'll take that one. I'll take Bowling Green also. First half minus 4.5, minus 108. Those are two official plays on this one. And what's their team total right now? Roughly, where are we? the Bowling Green first half team total, man, at one place 13.5 minus 178. That's looking tempting. They should get to 30 in this one. So I like the team total over as well, but just 2 official plays as of right now, full game and first half, Bowling Green. Not going to overthink it. Let's see. Anyone in the comments section got anything to say? Let's see. Let's see. Nunya saying, Kong remind me of Beverly Hills Ninja. Wow, that's a compliment and a half right there. Damn. Nunya, I hadn't had a Bowling Green bet in years. Andrew G, Bowling Green money line, great parlay piece. Sure. Dabby Cab, we like Bowling Green, although the line has moved. What do you think, Dabby Cab? You agree with it? Did you look at this one?
Yeah, I'll root for you guys on Bowling Green here.
Okay, that's it. Liking it. Oh, there you go. Wine Time Sports. Let us know what you think. We just said we like Bowling Green, and I like it even after the move, although, of course, probably a little bit less. All right, next game on the card. Huge move here. Oklahoma and Navy, Armed Forces Bowl in Texas. It opened near 10. Now it's all the way down to 3. Navy as a dog, of course. Oklahoma, beat Alabama. Other than that, mostly lost. Navy upset Army in that Army-Navy game. A lot of people in this show are saying Army was going to roll there, but Navy blew them out. Huge move here, of course. And, anything over 7, I would say I agree with Navy having value. All the way down to 3, I don't know if I could take that. I think this is going to be a pass for me. I missed the move. I'm going to pass. Let's start with Kong's Clips. What do you think? Is maybe Oklahoma the play here, or Navy still have a little bit of value at just +3?
Well, see, Pete, I wonder here if Navy's going to be able to stand up to this to the defense of Oklahoma. They're typically bigger out there, right? You get bigger walk-ons, bigger signings. I assume their defensive line is going to be huge compared to Navy's offensive line.
Of course.
I like this under. Oklahoma wasn't able to move the ball all season long. They did win the John Mateer sweepstakes. So they got a decent quarterback coming in for next year. I wonder if Navy is able to move the ball, and we know Oklahoma's had trouble all season moving the ball. I think this under's a good look.
Yeah, I'd be leaning that way as well. This is a classic bowl game matchup. Navy 100%, regardless of anything, will be up for this game. Oklahoma, maybe not. The motivation might not be there. They've had, it was a disappointing year, coaching changes, players losses. So the continuity isn't going to be there for Oklahoma, but no question about it. The physical dominance and the physical superiority will be there for Oklahoma. As always, Dabby Cab. I don't know. What do you think? Is this a pass?
You don't have to worry about trying in bowl games. Service academy teams.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
That's one thing you don't got to worry about, right? The effort. Navy can go out there and lose by 50 and they still tried, right? I'm just going to say that right now. You don't got to worry about the effort. And that's the biggest thing about the bowl games for me. And then we look at Oklahoma, right? What are they going to be missing here? Okay, let's see. They're going to be missing top wide receivers, their top running back. They're going to be missing their quarterback. They're going to be missing a few people here on defense. So basically, this is a 6-6 Oklahoma team who just got, a welcome to the SEC year, absolutely smashed. They got people running out the door. They got people transferring. Oklahoma is battered, bruised, and beaten right now. And if Navy is going to give full effort, honestly, I like Navy as the side. But I think you just go under. Like Kong said, I really think 43.5 is too many points, even at that total. Because if Navy does stay in this game or does have the lead, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to eat the clock. They're going to do what Navy does. They're going to play Navy football. And I don't think that Oklahoma cares enough to stop it. Here's the thing about like these option offenses and stuff like that. You gotta want it. You gotta be mean. You gotta be angry on defense, or else you're gonna get pushed around. And I just don't think Oklahoma's gonna have that give a shit attitude in this game. So I like Navy. I probably wouldn't take it missing as many points as we could have got at the opening line. But I really like the under even more.
Yeah, and Oklahoma will have time to prepare for the option, so they're going to care at least a little bit, right? to have a nice defensive. And I think if the effort is there, it's probably much more on defense than offense. The under has gotten bet down a little bit. First line I saw was like 44.5. Now it's down to like 43.5 or 43. I would agree with you. Free play right now, no question about it. I'd put it on the under. As far as the spread at 3, gosh, that is really tough. Let's see what people in the comment section have to say. If anything, Nunya. Oh, wow. Nunya saying just a disrespectful 9. Wow.
I will say that any recency bias is something I always bring up. I would worry about any recency bias from the Navy-Army game, but like at the same time, when you got rivalries like that, you kind of take them with a grain of salt because, it's a rivalry. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, heading into that game, there were people we really respect in the comments section saying, like, Navy's going to get crushed. Didn't happen. Okay, I'm going to pass on this one, but as far as an official play is concerned, but I'll probably take a small shot with the under. I agree with you, and maybe the first half under as well. We'll see. Justin McKelvey says his homie made him bet Oklahoma money line. Okay, well, if you were forced to do it, then that's like an arranged marriage. You have a right to complain. If he forced you to bet Oklahoma and they lose, that's not your fault. That's his fault. All right, going to be a pass for me. Let's move on, guys. Next game on the card. This is a very interesting one. Georgia Tech and Vanderbilt, right?
Is this the best game on the card?
I'm sorry?
Is this the best game on the card today that we're talking about? Because this is exciting. This is a good game.
Yes. Both very exciting. As far as like exciting and awesome to cap and probably awesome to watch, I'd probably rate BYU Colorado over this. But aside from that, yeah, this is the second best one. I think this is going to be a good one, right? Georgia Tech. Well, yeah, very impressive. They beat Miami. They had that OT loss to Georgia as a huge dog, went to 8 OTs. So they play exciting football. And then Vandy, a revelation of a year. They lost Tennessee in their last game. But, of course, they had a great year. They beat Alabama, had some nice, huge margin covers. Very close spread here. And both these teams should be fully motivated. This is what bowl games should be. Georgia Tech was up on Georgia, and they blew a late lead, 8 OT game. Now, obviously, that was a long time ago as far as, the physical toll of that is concerned. The mental toll might still be there in some kind of a subconscious way. These are both, Diego Pavia is a New Mexico State transfer. He's been a revelation for Vanderbilt. He can be, it's hit or miss. You can stop him, but if you don't stop him, he can be explosive. My sense here is that Vanderbilt might have the edge early, and then Georgia Tech comes out late. My lean on the full game would be to Georgia Tech. My lean first half would be to Vanderbilt, and if Vanderbilt is up at the half, I'll be almost certainly on Georgia Tech on a second half bet. I guess if any team goes down significantly, or if either team's down by like 10 at the half, I'll probably betting on the team that's down. This has very close game going down to the wire written all over it. Full game lean Georgia Tech, first half lean Vanderbilt. What do you think about this one, Kongs Clips?
Just looking at Vanderbilt getting points all season long. Vanderbilt getting points has been the side. I do think Georgia Tech has the coaching advantage. Maybe over. I won't be on a side. If this gets up over 3, I'm going to be on Vanderbilt. Just first looking at it, though, I lean over.
You lean over? Yeah. I mean,
that's it, man. That's it.
Go ahead, Tabby.
That's it. I was just waiting for that because, look, we said it earlier last time we capped the first round of the bowl games. You got both quarterbacks missing. You got people out. You're going to go under, right? These offenses are going to struggle. You got Haynes King in this game, right? You got Diego Pavia in this game. That's what makes this so exciting. This is going to be an electric offense on both sides of the field, I think. I think we're going to get points. I like the over. I like Georgia Tech. I like Vanderbilt to be ahead in the first half, so maybe in the money line or take that +1 point. And then I like the over. So I'm also going to bet Diego Pavia 2+ touchdowns. I was just looking at my prop. I don't have any numbers on it yet, so I got to wait till I get it. But I'm going to take Diego Pavia 2+ touchdowns as long as the number's right. I'm going to take Vanderbilt first half, and then I'm going to take the over in this game. This is the game I like the most out of everything we're looking at.
Yeah, you were going to take Vanderbilt before you heard me say that I liked Vandy first half?
Oh yeah, baby.
Wow.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Very nice. All right, I'll talk about this game a little bit more, but I will definitely make Vandy first half money line plus 112 an official play. Vandy first half money line plus 112 official play. Then I will be looking at Georgia Tech's second half. What do you think, Kongs Clips?
Yeah, I think I just wait. I think I wait and see if this gets to 3 to play Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt first half is definitely a look. But right now it's over or nothing for me.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I just feel like Georgia Tech's style, their strength is kind of more of a grinding, physical, bullying kind of play, which tends to pay dividends later in games more than earlier. Of course, Georgia Tech could be up by 14 or 17 at the half, and in that case, I don't know if I would take Vanderbilt second half. I probably would, but I'm going to take Vandy first half as an official play to start. And
I mean, these two teams went fucking toe-to-toe with the best of the best all year long. You're telling me they're not going to get 51 points? I don't buy it for a second. The over here is what I like the most.
Yeah, and just looking at the losses, it looks like Georgia Tech was hit harder with losses than Vanderbilt was. And again, just in general, I'd be liking Vanderbilt earlier more than liking them full game. They've got a bunch of guys who were injured in the Georgia game, and they got some opt-outs. And Vanderbilt, from what I'm seeing, not that much. They have an offensive lineman who's out, but mostly they are much closer to full strength than Georgia Tech.
I mean, it's crazy just thinking about it. I'm looking at the chat, right? Action Jackson said, still can't believe Vandy took out Bama, or Georgia Tech took out Miami, or Georgia Tech took Georgia to 7 overtimes. Yeah. I mean, these two teams can play, and you got your starting quarterbacks in. This is going to be an exciting football game, and I think there's just going to be points. So you can make the over official for me, Pete, and the other two I'm going to tweet out for everyone as soon as I get lines on what I want.
Yeah, let's see what the total is right now. The first one, when I first saw it, it was like 53.5 roughly, and now it's down 51.5, slightly juiced to the under. Look at that.
Sometimes they get it wrong.
Oh, often they get it wrong. All right, I'm just going to make because Vandy, they do all that offensive misdirection and stuff like that, and then Georgia Tech is much more of a grinded out kind of a team that I think will be better in the second half. So I'm agreeing with you. I'm gonna take Vandy first half. We'll glance the comments section and then we'll move on. Let's see what people have to say. Shout out to Wine Time Sports. Let's see. Yeah, still can't believe Vandy took out Vandy. Yep, Action Jackson likes Vandy money line. Okay, and Justin McKelvey likes Vandy plus 2.5. All right, let's move on. Next game on the card. Oh, man, Texas Tech, Arkansas. All right, Wine Time Sports, everyone in the comments section. If you have anything on this game, please let us know as far as a bet or an edge is concerned. Fascinating game, but I don't know what I think here. This is like, Dabby Cab, you are anti-bowl. You are a bowlist. You stereotype these bowls, and a lot of times your stereotypes are a little bit exaggerated. In this case, you're right. Both of these teams have a ton of losses. Texas Tech loses their quarterback. His replacement has a little experience. He could be good. The line is close to pick him on both sides. This one, so many losses for both of these teams. I really just don't know what to make of it. I really basically just have nothing to say aside from this is it. This is what people fucking hate about bowl games. This is it right here. Stereotype right in front of your eyes. Dabby Cab, what do you think about this one? Do you look at it at all?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, service academies are the smaller schools. The bowl games are fun. They matter. And maybe I am a little overzealous with how I feel about these bowl games. But when you got, like we were talking about earlier, 16 people moving, that's a whole new football team. And everybody knows, like, week 1, it's kind of a minefield. Week 0 and week 1, you want to see how people mesh, how the teams get together. How do they fit the offensive coordinator's scheme? Are they able to settle into things? Well, in this game right here, we don't have a clue. And if you act like you do, good for you. I'm proud of you. But how do you know? That's all I'm going to say. How do you know what's going to happen in this game?
Texas Tech lost its offensive and defensive coordinator as well.
How do you know? How do you have a clue what's going to happen?
Yeah, I'm off this game as well. I have nothing. Zero. No lean.
I mean, Texas Tech lost their starting quarterback and both of their coordinators. So I'd love to take Arkansas, but Arkansas lost everyone. I mean, they're all gone. Look at this. I mean, I would assume that maybe Arkansas's replacements are probably higher caliber than Texas Tech's, right?
Wait, is Taylor Green going to play in this game?
Who knows?
If Green's going to play in this game, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll take props with Green and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
if anybody in the chat can figure it out, because I've got something that says the expectation is that he will play. Like, I can't even get a confirmed answer on some of these things. If Taylor Green's going to play quarterback for Arkansas, I mean, maybe I'll take a shot on Arkansas, but I'll for sure take a shot on his props. Other than that, no.
It's just there's so many guys out for Arkansas. It's just so hard to take them, man.
Yeah, they've got to fix this with bowl season. I know it's hard to do, but man,
it's not hard to do, though. You don't open the transfer portal until fucking everybody's done playing. It's not hard to do. I mean,
it's really not.
Look,
it's easy to fix.
I don't have a problem with people opting out for the NFL. I know some people do, and this isn't the place or time for that conversation. Go get your money, all right? As an athlete who has seen friends and been through situations and lost a contract myself because of injury, go get your fucking money. If you're going to get drafted, go to the NFL. If you're going to play at another college, wait until next season, or wait and go ahead and play in that bowl game. Like, that's how they fix it, Kong, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed.
I was gonna say that talking this out with you guys, despite all the losses, I'd be leaning Arkansas because I would think that their replacements are probably going to be better than Texas Tech's replacements. Texas Tech loses their starting quarterback and their coordinators, so my lean would be to Arkansas.
What are you saying about Tech, Pete?
Wine Time Sports says I want Tech and Justin McElvey, Texas Tech money line.
Hey, you got beef with us, Pete, or what, bro?
I'd lean Arkansas, but I certainly won't make that an official play as of right now. Let's look at where the market has moved. Pretty much the same. Arkansas, tiny favorite. Total, kind of low. Yeah. All right. Let's move on. My lean would be Arkansas. A lot of people in the comment section that we respect leaning Texas Tech, but a classic game with everyone gone. All right, next game. You ready, Dabby Cab? You ready?
Good to go.
Okay, so that bowl game that we just covered is the bad side of the trend of bowl games and the portal. What about the good side? No one ever talks about the good side to the portal. And this next game is what it is. Perfect example of this was the UTSA game recently. I bet them, pounded it. They won by a mile. Syracuse, Washington State is the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. And Syracuse, Washington State, of course, everyone's gone. Washington State is like, Texas Tech and Arkansas. Worst team, though. But they're playing a team that has not had a bunch of losses. They've got an experienced quarterback who wants to get a win, wants to get a statement win. Line has moved 10 points in Syracuse's favor. Obviously, you'd rather have the opening line. I think there's probably still a little bit of value on Syracuse. And I will definitely, at the very least, make Syracuse first half -9.5 an official play. Here you go, Dabby Cap. This is the good side of the transfer because it gives us betting situations like this. I think there's good value even at the current line with Syracuse because everyone's out.
This is a completely one-sided football game, in my opinion, with Syracuse. And when you get into these bowl games, there's certain things to look for, like we've been talking about all along. And if you learn how to handle these situations, there's money to be made on it. There really is. It's just, do you have the balls to put it there? One of the things I've learned is that when you have a spread like this in a bowl game, it's there for a reason, right? Syracuse, I think first half is a great bet, Pete. I don't see any reason why they're not ahead there. And honestly, I think they probably run away with this game, full game also. Yeah. So I think the total's so high because we expect a lot of points out of Syracuse. And Syracuse has been a little bit underrated at times this season in general. So, yeah, I like Syracuse here. The number's where it is for a reason.
Yeah, all right. I will make Syracuse first half -9.5, -114. That's the current line and official play. Wine Time Sports says Syracuse has been playing down to their competition. Yes, that's in the regular season, though. The bowl season can be sometimes a bowl game is the same animal as the regular season, but oftentimes it's not. You see a lot of horrible faves during the regular season, clearly overvalued as a favorite game in and game out, week in and week out in the regular season, then go into the bowl game as a big favorite and blow them out. Same deal with underdogs. So no question about it. Syracuse during the regular season, classic, great as a dog, terrible as a favorite team during the regular season. In fact, they were 1-4 ATS as a favorite during the regular season, and that one ATS win was when they were a 1-point favorite as a dog. Well, of course, they beat Miami as a double-digit home dog in their last game, but Syracuse was 5-2 straight up as a dog this year.
Yeah, Pete, I was high on Syracuse coming into the season. I had a future on them to win the ACC. We didn't quite get there with it, but I think they showed Kyle McCord is a decent quarterback. I gave Syracuse out. I want to say I gave it out at 9.5 or 10.
Very nice
on X a week or two ago, maybe. I love the play. I love Syracuse here.
Well, here we go. A lot of people say, Truth Teller says too many points. Action Jackson says Syracuse wins. Washington State covers. Okay. Yeah, let me see. But Andrew G says 20-point win for the Cuse. I'm leaning Syracuse even at the current line. I'll just make one official play. First half -9.5. If they don't cover that, I might be on them second half. But if they don't cover that, I certainly wouldn't want them -16 full game. So first half -9.5. There you go, Ronnie Lofton. Shout out to Ron Lofton. Score fest, in my opinion.
Something here too, Pete.
All right, go ahead.
On a lot of these bowl games, right? Most of the bowl games I've played, I'm playing first half. You're getting the news that these quarterbacks are playing. In the Colorado game, for instance, we know Shadur's playing. We know Travis Hunter's going to play. Do they play the full game? You know what I mean? I think they're guaranteed to play the first half.
Right.
So if you can get these teams with their starters and they're going to play the first half of football, I think the first half on a lot of these games is the play.
I mean, that's a great point. In that game in particular, though, like if Colorado's blowing them out or getting blown out, but if they're blowing them out, probably I don't know. But then again, I think in that, because of what Dion is saying, I think they will play most of the game. But
yeah, so here's the thing with the Colorado game, right? So I've been looking for a Colorado first half. The full game on this Colorado spread is 3.5 points. To get -110 on the first half, the line is 3.5. I think that's telling. The full game spread is the same as the first half. What's that?
It's the same line first
same
half.
Same line.
Yeah, that's
Do
crazy.
you think if it's a relatively close game that Dion will sit those guys?
Well, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Never.
I do a lot of first half betting. What I'm thinking. I think they play. You know what I mean? But their draft stock is so high that do you chance it in the second half? I played Colorado first half. I like Colorado in this game. But do they play the full game is the question for these top 5 draft picks.
Yeah.
You get a 3 at -110, but yeah, you're right. This is a crazy line.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Well, we will be talking about that game in a bit. Truth Teller says Washington State covers easy. All right. Maybe if that happens, I'll lose my bet. Just one play. Syracuse first half -9.5, -114. All right, let's move on. Next game. Here we go. The Texas A&M game, Las Vegas Bowl against USC. We'll start with you, Kong's Clips. Texas A&M, bad ATS all season long, lost their last game, Texas. And USC, they lost their last game at home to Notre Dame. Before that, they have been pretty good ATS. Seems like Texas A&M is motivated for this one. Adding everything up, looking at who's in, who's out, and likely motivation, I would be leaning Texas A&M here. I definitely haven't bet it yet. Want to hear what you guys have to say. USC seems like, not like in worse shape maybe heading into this game. Texas A&M seems like they should be significantly motivated here. I trust Mike Elko in a bowl game like this. Low line. Texas A&M was not good all season long. ATS. USC pretty good ATS. USC a dog. I'm leaning Texas A&M. What do you think, Kong Slips?
Yeah, I lean Texas A&M. I haven't played this game yet. I need to look and see who else playing for this game. I assume Jaden Maeva is going to play for USC. I just haven't got into it to see yet. So for now, I pass.
No, I believe I have him as in. I have a bunch of other guys out. Again, their replacements, you never know. I mean, probably as good, possibly better. Bunch of wide receivers all entered the transfer portal for USC, which doesn't necessarily mean that their replacements are going to be any worse. Running back out. All right, Dabby Cab, what do you think here?
I think this bowl game should spark a bigger conversation about these two programs. How disappointing, and I'm speaking, as I guess you can say an A&M fan, right? I'm not really a big fan. I care more about my bets, but both of these teams, USC and A&M, there is no fucking excuse for them not to be in the top 5 year in and year out. They have the money, they have the donors, they have the backing, they have the fan base, they have the school, they have everything you could possibly dream of. And here we are again. Same situation. Both teams had a letdown season. I guess if people for A&M are going to, in the comments, are going to argue and they're going to say, no, A&M under first year Elko. Who'd you beat? Who'd you beat? You didn't beat anybody. Tell me one good team that you beat at A&M. LSU? Well, if that's your big win on the season, good job, right? You didn't fucking beat anybody. You lost when it counted to South Carolina. You lost when it counted to Auburn. You lost when it counted to Texas, right? This team didn't do anything. And then USC, you got Lincoln Riley coming in there. You got Caleb Williams. You win 11 games. Things are looking good. We're finally turning the corner. Well, then the next season you win 8 games. And now this season you win 6 games. What the fuck? What is going on? Okay. Both of these programs are going to see turnover, even though A&M's not going to have as many transfer people. You're going to have Nick Scorton out because he's going to go to the NFL draft. Shamar Stewart, Shamar Turner. So basically this big defensive line that you've got to know for A&M, they're not going to play. Okay.
That's what I worry about.
Exactly. Because they're all NFL caliber people. And Lincoln Riley, tell me he's not almost playing for his job at this point. Yeah. I mean, USC's looking to buy out like A&M had to do with Jimbo. Okay. So this bowl game, as much as it doesn't, mean a ton, these programs, man, they both need it. A&M needs it under Elko. A&M needs it because they need to win it and have something positive going into the next season. And USC needs it if they want to keep Lincoln Riley. But judging by the mass exodus of players from USC hitting the transfer portal, I don't think they want to play with him. So all that being said, I'm not betting this game. I will not do it.
Okay, let me ask you this. And of course, you are nothing if not a Texas A&M expert, Dabby Cab. Yes, huge guy, huge defensive ends for Texas A&M, gone. But the guys replacing them probably are like pretty good. And then you got Mike Elko with some time to coach them up. Is that not? Am I missing something? You think the replacements will be significantly worse?
Oh, and most of their replacements, have had plenty of snaps this year, whether it's been to minor injuries throughout the season or the way that Elko rotates his defense. So yeah, you're going to still have a good defense under Mike Elko. Obviously not as dominant, but yeah, Pete, they should still be big time players. It's A&M. Right. They got money like people don't understand.
Yeah, see, and there's Wine Time Sports echoing what I said. A&M still has dudes, though. A&M has a lot more depth than USC. Nut Flesh 16, no fan base. USC will not equal up true football fans. It's unfortunate. People laughing at them spending millions and just not knowing what to do with it. Ron Lofton, USC should get schooled. Wine Time Sports, Texas A&M here. I might make Texas A&M an official play. Kong's Clips, would you advise me off that or you endorse it?
Honestly, Pete, with this, with all these defensive line players out for Texas, I honestly lean USC.
Really?
if you're not getting pressure on Jaden Maeva, he's going to tear you up. And I believe Lincoln Riley has more motivation here to coach his team to a win. Mike Elko's first season, he is a defensive coach, so he's going to try to draw up some pressure. I'm off for now, but I have the slightest lean to USC. Texas A&M sending people to the league.
All right. Well, some significant disagreement here. I mean, tiny sample size, but it's worth mentioning. Mike Elko, covered both of his bowl games with Duke, right? And Lincoln Riley, subpar ATS record in bowl games so far with USC. So, it's
either way, Lincoln Riley could be gone after this game. Honestly.
All right. Well, we got people leaning both sides. I'm kind of leaning Texas A&M. I guess I won't make it an official play, but I'll probably have a bet on them one way or another, and very possibly a live bet or a halftime bet. Let's glance the comment section quick, and then move on. Truth Teller says, I believe that if I wouldn't have found Pub Sports years ago, I wouldn't be alive today. I was in a dark place back then. Well, Truth Teller, we're just trying to entertain here, build a community, but it's great to read messages like that. Sorry you were in a dark place. So great to hear that you're doing better, Truth Teller. Hell yeah. This show's dedicated to you, my man. For real. All right. Okay. Let's move on. I'm leaning Texas A&M along with some luminaries here. Wine Time Sports.
That's the right side to be on. If you're leaning with Wine Time Sports, you're on the right side.
Yeah.
Wine Time's a great capper.
Yeah.
And I don't have a play on this game, Pete. Don't let me talk.
Right. Oh, yeah. You just got, but then also Dabby Cab, who's like, if he's got any reason like Texas A&M, he's going to take it. Not seeing it. All right, let's move on. Next game on the card. Here's another one. I did bet it. You tell me what you think. It's the Fenway Bowl in Boston, UConn and UNC, right? Of course, UNC has Belichick coming. UConn was solid overall, though, a solid team. North Carolina, terrible ATS all year long. They had 2 huge margin covers in a row in the middle of the year. And aside from those 2 games, lost everything ATS. Just a great fade. Terrible team to bet on during the regular season. They're a small favorite here over UConn. And, they're going through changes, sidelines, players out, this and that. And, UConn, not an elite team, but I think a solid team, should be motivated, right? I think they match up pretty nicely with North Carolina, even though North Carolina is the more talented team. But UConn has a solid rush defense, which matches up well with North Carolina, who is usually run heavy and should be run heavy here as well. I like UConn here. It should be a relatively low scoring game, I think, as well. I don't know about the under. Maybe UConn as a teaser, but I just like UConn at anything over 3, and could easily see them upsetting. Maybe UConn first half just as a dog, small dog, just like
Merry Christmas Eve. Hey, let me call you back. I'm on a live stream.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, wait. Were you talking to us? Is he gone? Is he coming back? Oh, there he is. I don't know what's going on.
I thought I was muted.
Oh, I'm muted on screen talking. He's unmuted back screen talking. Merry Christmas.
All right. Well, a lot of my opinions I'm loving or liking a lot. This one is lukewarm, but I'm liking UConn as a dog here. What do you think, Con Slips? Did you look at this one at all?
2 teams I didn't bet on this season, Pete. I'm off this game.
Okay. I'm thinking that UConn might be the play. Maybe first half money line, maybe first half.
I do lean UConn.
I'm sorry?
I do lean UConn. I thought about playing it, but ultimately I didn't play these 2 teams all year. I'm not going to start in the bowl game.
Okay. All right. Dabby Cab, an interesting, psychologically very weird for UNC. All sorts of changes in their coaching staff, just a kind of a team in turmoil. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to come to play, but UConn is a scrappy team, outclassed, but they'll give it their all here.
Sometimes I look at these games, Pete, that aren't games like Con just said, teams that he didn't bet. I look at these games that aren't games that I really care too much about, and I see an angle, and I'm like, oh, that seems really easy, almost too easy. How is this at 52.5? This total should be like 64.5. No, like, come on. This seems low for these two teams, especially. I mean, UConn might be able to put up points, but they're not going to play defense. And the same goes for UNC. I mean, who's going to play defense in this game? That's my question. So, I mean, I would lean over here pretty heavily.
I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at wrong numbers, but I thought that it was like a nice advantage for UConn defensively. That nice run defense going against a run heavy offense.
They might have the advantage in that aspect there of the game. I'm just saying, as far as like, both of these teams, relatively high 50. They both put up 32.3 points per game, and then you look at points against per game. UConn's 108th in the nation and UNC's 185th, right? So again, just on the surface level numbers, which is not a way to cap and make bets. Either of these defenses are very good. Both of these offenses can score. This total seems extremely low. And let's go look at UConn's last 5 games. Okay, UMass 47-42. That would be 89 points. Definitely went over this total. Syracuse 24-31. Okay, that's 55 points. We got over this total. UAB 31-23. That's over this total because we got to 54. Then you got Georgia State 34-27 over. Rice 17-10. That's the only one that went under, but the others flew over. UNC's in the same situation. Their last 3 games have gone over, and 4 of their last 5 games have gone over this total. I just think the over makes sense.
Okay. Looking at people, anyone in the comments section, I might even double up here and take like UConn +3 in the first half money line. Justin McKelvey likes UConn money line. Yeah, you know what? I think UConn's going to come and give it their all. In UNC, I don't know, man. Yeah, UNC late might be good. I'm going to take. All right, I won't double up, but I will take UConn first half. I'm seeing where is it? Just in case it's tied at the half, +0.5 +103. I'll make that an official play. UConn first half +0.5 +103. That's what I'm seeing right now, and I'll make that official. Also, leaning UConn full game at +3, but I guess I won't double up as far as
Pete. I would say you're on the right side there. Full game being at 3, and you're only getting a half point in the first half. That's another spread for the first half that just don't seem right.
There you go, Matty Ice. I like UConn and the over. Okay. So I think your read on the over, Dabby Cab, is correct. Matty Ice has not bet it yet. I'm liking UConn more and more, or not. I wouldn't say I'm liking them more and more. I'm feeling more and more confident in my modest opinion on UConn here. Very nice. I should probably double up, but I won't. All right, let's move on. Dabby Cab, next game on the card. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm going to pass, I think. BC, Nebraska, Pinstripe Bowl in New York. BC covered their last 5 games in a row. Very nice. Nebraska did not do well. They lost 5 of their last 6. Subpar ATS in those games as well. And, we got some, but, I don't know. Nebraska has this freshman quarterback who improved late. They improved offensively a bit. They had some nice signs that the offense was improving with this freshman quarterback coming in. And this is another one where it seems like the under is probably the way to go, but I'm just wondering if maybe Nebraska's offensive improvement will continue here. Maybe Nebraska is the play here, even though they're giving a bunch of points to BC, who should be all right. Boston College has a bunch of guys in the portal. Quarterback's out, but he's not the guy who is going to be starting here anyway. I don't know. I'm leaning Nebraska here based on expected continued offensive improvement from this freshman quarterback. Did you look at this at all, Gong's Clips?
I didn't, Pete.
Okay.
It's a game I'm off.
Okay. And Dabby Cab, did you look at this at all, or?
Man, like I said, Pete, I can always talk about these football games.
Yeah.
Talking football is easy for me. So you're talking the freshman Dylan Raiola, right? I mean,
yeah.
What a nut job, man. And he started the season. And I was on his props early in the year, made me a little bit of money. I had Nebraska against Colorado. Looking back on the whole season, God, how did I get that right? Because that obvious, if they played again, I got that. Which wouldn't end the same, I wouldn't think, is what I'm saying. But if you listen to the coach, they say Dylan Raiola is all in at Nebraska. Like, he's all in. There are small rumors going around about him possibly looking at Oregon when this season ends, right? And with how bad he played at the end of the year, hearing rumors like that, I don't know. I'm a little uncomfortable with this line where it's at. Probably Boston College, which is a team I've made like 0 bets on in my entire life, so I'm not going to start now.
Yeah. All right, I'll pass. I mean, Nebraska did lose a lot of guys on defense, not really on offense. And Raiola he's very classic high ceiling, low floor, struggles with turnovers, erratic, but he's got a big arm. The extra practice time, will that help him? I don't know how much. All right, I'm going to pass. This is a classic bowl game that's tough to read, not necessarily because of the transfer portal stuff, but just because of the players involved. All right, I'm going to pass. We'll quickly glance at the comment section, and then we'll move on. Wine Time says Raiola isn't good enough to play at Oregon. Nanya says UConn's going to get smashed. Okay. Oh, whoa, Tar Heels by 30. Okay, might be on the wrong side once again. All right, it's going to be a pass for me. BC, Nebraska. Next game on the card. This one I did bet. Another favorite. I took TCU. Louisiana TCU. There's a New Mexico Bowl. Louisiana covered 5 of their last 6, but then they got beat down in their conference championship game. TCU started the year badly. ATS covered their last 3 in a row, and it just looks. And the quarterback for Louisiana is going to be this guy Beal, who he's a freshman who's had some issues. Probably will improve at some point in his career, but this is a tough assignment. A bowl game against TCU, who should be motivated, I think. And once again, I bet TCU before the move when it was down around 10. I like them here again, full game and maybe first half even more. Maybe I'm liking favorites too much here, but I felt that way about UTSA. That one cashed, and there was another one. I can't remember what it was offhand, but liking TCU here. What do you think, Cons Clips?
Yeah, I haven't moved yet, Pete, but I've been looking at TCU as well. With these big numbers in these bowl games, I think the favorites are going to be the right side. So maybe TCU first half.
Yeah.
TCU full game. I like the look, and I haven't got there yet, but I think I might.
All right. Well, I'm gonna add on as an official play. I could take 6.5 minus 123, or 6 minus 131, or 7 minus 103. I should probably take that 7, but I think I'm gonna take the I'll take that. TCU first half minus 7 minus 103. That's an official play. I think that Louisiana, of course, anything can happen in these bowl games, but I think they're going to be outclassed, and I'm going to make that an official play. Like in full game as well, but I don't want to double up. Let's see. Ron Lofton says, bet you guns is on Louisiana. Matty Guy says, the BC spot, already bet it. Okay, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, I love it when we align, Matty. So on this one, for me, it's I haven't got a number on it yet, but Wine Time put it in the chat. He said, is Hoover playing Cab? If so, we know what to do if he is. Look, I know my last 2 bets on Hoover lost, but I bet him all year. It was something that I told myself I was pretty much going to bet for the entire season. And on the season, I was up just over 3 units betting Hoover. So it was a good choice, right? I like where I was at with it. And yeah, he's playing in this game. TCU should be motivated. So I like where you guys are at as a side. And then if the number's right for Hoover, obviously I'm going to take the over because it's a bowl game. They might let him run it up. So yeah, and I've always been a fan of Hoover, even though TCU has found a way to, blow covers and blow games somehow year in and year out with him last year and this year. I still, as a QB, I think he's great under center.
Yeah, I agree. -7, and I saw this stat, which I'm not sure if this is a true stat, but I saw it. I don't think they just make this up. This year, the Louisiana defense, opponents in the red zone, how many stops did they have all year long? Dabby Cab, what would you say? How many stops did Louisiana have playing another team when the team was in the red zone?
Like no points?
Yes, they got 0 stops.
0. Yeah, I was going to guess 0 simply because you brought it up. It had to be a bad number.
That kind of shocking. I've seen it right here.
Yeah,
they allowed at least a field goal on every opposing drive into the red zone this year.
That's terrible. And TCU is not the team you want to go against with that, because I'm telling you, Hoover.
Yeah, and now you got the TCU offense coming in.
TCU.
What I also might do is put Hoover touchdowns with TCU to win. Get me a little plus money, and then I won't have to take a spread. So if it's like a 2+ or 3+, whatever Hoover's passing touchdown is, I will when I can get it. I'm going to take Hoover passing touchdowns plus TCU on the money line, and then I might take Hoover passing yards full game. And I also like first half TCU, whoever said that.
Yeah, I said that. I'm taking a -7, -103. This all makes sense, Con Clips, right? Nice bet here. TCU, right?
Yeah, their team total too. Their implied team total should be around 30 and a half points. I think that's a look too. With the Louisiana red zone struggles, Hoover throwing the ball around. This could be a huge TCU win. And the team total could go over.
No question about it. And are they going to not run it up? I think they probably will.
Yeah, bowl game, run it up.
All right. And I'm liking BC more. Look at this, Nutflush 16. Remember who the coach is for BC. Will definitely be prepared. Man, BC might be the spot. All right, let's move on. Next game on the card. Oh, boy, here we go. Iowa State, Miami, Florida. Man, I don't know. Although, the total seems suspiciously low to me. But here we go. Iowa State, Miami, Florida. Of course, Iowa State got blown out in the conference championship game. Start of the year, great ATS. Less good later on. Miami, very 50-50 ATS second half of the season. And, Cam Ward, of course, will be playing for Miami. He's going to be giving it his all, I'm sure. Iowa State, big offense. Their Miami's defense is their weakness here. And it feels like Miami should have a big game offensively. Just maybe it's too obvious. And that Iowa State, whether they win or lose, should be able to put up some points and move the ball on Miami. Modest total in the mid-50s. The sides that I first saw were like roughly even, but I think the line moved in Miami's favor. Yeah. So it opened like close to pick 'em. Now Miami's 3.5. And the total hasn't moved, though. 55.5, right where it was when I first saw it. In the games in Florida. So not a home field advantage for Miami, home state advantage for Miami. Pop-Tarts Bowl, Cogs Clips. I know you looked at this one. You got any bets you like here?
Absolutely, Pete. I'm on Miami first half, -1.5. Believe that's -110. Just a situation, man. Cam Ward should be going to the NFL. Could be a top 10 pick. And I believe the Miami players feel they got shafted. They're better than 3 or 4 of the teams in the college football playoff. I think they come out to show that. Now, again, do they play the full game? Hard to say. So I'm going to be on the first half. And as our friend C-Mac would say, over.
Right.
Miami overs this season. I mean, they put up points. That's what they do. They come out, they put up points. And teams, even with a mediocre offense on the other side of the ball, they do the same. They put up points. We've seen a lot of Miami games this season get up into the 70s. No reason these two teams can't put up 30 points apiece over. And Miami first half. For me.
Yeah, I didn't bet the over. I wasn't like I love it, but I definitely was like, why is this total where it is and why hasn't it moved?
I think it has something to do with whether players are going to play the full game or not. That's the only thing that I come to in this game why the total wouldn't be up over 60. And I think they can put up enough points in the first half to get close to this.
Yeah. Man. One Time Sports says Iowa State's secondary is elite. I have Iowa State's defense as maybe a little bit overrated, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
I tell you what, first half over. Everything just talking it out. First half over could be a spot. And they're saying in the chat that Iowa State's secondary is elite. I get it. But Miami don't care who your secondary is this whole season. They just put up points. That's what they do.
Yeah.
You can't. I don't care how good you are as a cornerback. You cannot cover a receiver for as long as Cam Ward draws the play out. That's the whole That's the whole thing. Like they might have initial coverage, right? They might have initial coverage, but after he scrambles, you just can't do it. You can't cover somebody for that long. It's damn near impossible.
And then on the other side, you got an Iowa State passing game. I don't know if it's good enough to get them the win, but it's definitely good enough to get them some first half points, right? Against the Miami defense. Right?
Yeah. Yes. This is a game for me that on paper, it looks great, man. You got the number 18 Ohio State versus the number 13 Miami Pop-Tart Bowl. They got that trophy where the Pop-Tarts go in it this year, all that. Like, look, I get it. This should be a great game. It's supposed to be. But Kong said it. You've got a Miami team who feels like they should have gotten the playoffs who didn't. And then you got a Iowa State team who all they had to do was beat Arizona State, and they are in the playoffs, and they didn't do it. So, I don't know. I would say whoever wants this gets it. Whatever coach motivates their team better, that team comes out and takes it. Since Cam,
all right, I'm going to make first half over 27 minus 117 an official play here. If it loses, okay, but I think you're right. Miami should put up some first half points. Iowa State should put up some first half points. First half over 27 minus 117 official play. And Wine Time Sports. Look at this. I'm on Iowa State +4, and I'm a huge Cam Ward fan. Uh-oh. Look at that. I'm a huge fan of this guy, and I'm on the other side opinion. Very, very powerful opinion, handicapping opinion. Andrew G says Miami's secondary is awful. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if first half goes over and it's like, 30-10 Iowa State that'd be fine for a first half play. Wine Time says one of my biggest plays of the year is Miami against Florida. Never took them once after that, but I love Cam Ward. Wine Time says Iowa State better coach. Ron Lofton, Miami sometimes plays like they don't give a fuck, put it mildly. Wow. Wine Time says they are motivated. Jeez. Nunya says Cam Ward, best player on the field. Wine Time is Cam Ward, top 10 pick. Yes. Wow. Okay. I'm just going to have one play, first half over 27 minus 117. Dabby Cab, anything official?
No.
But Kong's Clips, like in Miami, first half.
We've done so many games. I'm just sitting here thinking back. I've made a few things official, though, and I wasn't planning on any of that. So I got to go in and bet it, too. I don't bet it right here when we're on the show. I got to bet it afterwards. So. If I bet it on the show,
I think Cam Ward is better than Sanders. Still on Iowa.
I agree one time. I think he goes higher than Sanders. And I think the scouts are going to see that, too. Shitter's good. Don't get me wrong. But I think Cam Ward's your better NFL flavored quarterback. If you know what I mean. He can stand in the pocket. The kid's got great awareness. He's calm under pressure. Just some of the spots this season where he just comes out of the huddle down in the fourth quarter. Virginia Tech game comes to mind. He just trots out there like nothing's going on. Boom, throws a strike. I like this kid.
Okay, I'm gonna take first half over as my official play on that game. All right, next game on the card: Arizona Bowl, Miami, Ohio, and Colorado State. Miami, Ohio is a small favorite here. They got crushed in their conference championship game, and they have a senior quarterback, Brett Gabbert, who has had a great MAC career. This is his last game, of course. Both of these teams have had some transfer portal issues, but nothing too eye-popping. Gabbert will be there. Colorado State isn't a pushover, but I talked about it in the beginning of the show. I didn't bet it yet, but I'd be leaning Miami, Ohio, just because, crushing the conference championship game, Brett Gabbert's last game, and Colorado State, some defensive issues and some defensive losses to the portal. And I think the line has moved in Miami's. Yeah. So it opened around 1.5, or the first line I saw was 1.5. Now it's up to 2.5 or 3 in favor of Miami. I'm definitely leaning that way. Maybe I'll bet it. As of right now, I don't know. Kong's Clips, do you think Miami's worth a play here or stay off?
Pete, I lean Miami. Third conference championship game, I got cooked. I was on them there, so maybe that's keeping me off. Lean Miami. Don't know if I'm going to get to the window to play it or not. Super disappointing conference championship game out of them. Right now I'm off, Pete. Lean under, lean Miami, but I'm off for now.
All right, well, look at this. Clint Zerligan, Colorado State money line, plus 115, first bet. Wow. Clint Zerligan chooses this game to come in with a confident opinion like that. Yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't be surprised if they win by a margin. It just feels like, Gabbert's last game, Miami crushed in the conference championship game. Miami also has a defense that statistically has something to recommend it. I mean, of course, that's coming against MAC offenses, but, is Colorado State going to be able to push them around? Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to pass on this one. Lean would be Miami, Ohio. Clint Zerligan, Colorado State money line, plus 115, first bet. No hesitation there. All right. Going to be a pass for me. All right, now let's move on. Here we go. This is a bet I did make. I don't know if it was right or not, but I made it. East Carolina, NC State. This is actually a rivalry game. In general, of course, NC State, on average, is the significantly better program. But when Eastern Carolina has a good team, they are dead even with NC State and playing very, very tough. This is Military Bowl in Maryland. NC State is a decent-sized favorite, not huge. East Carolina lost the last game to Navy, but before that, they had four nice wins. They covered 3 of those. NC State, awful ATS start the year, closed good ATS, beat their rival UNC in their last game. And I'm thinking that, it's a rivalry game. East Carolina will definitely be up for this one. They have the horses to keep it close, probably full game, at least first half. And I'm liking Eastern Carolina. I'm liking East Carolina full game at like +6 or so, and maybe a bit more on the first half. I did bet that. East Carolina improved as the season went on. They improved in the second half of the season to get bowl eligible, right? They've got an interim head coach who was then promoted to full-time head coach. This is his first bowl game. It feels like East Carolina has the motivation, should have the players, and I'm liking East Carolina as a dog. What do you think, Kong Slips?
Yeah, you would think East Carolina would be the play here. I'm looking at this total. This total seems high. 58.5 points with these two teams. Lean under here, lean East Carolina. I think you're on to something with the East Carolina side, plus the 6. Didn't really bet these two teams this season. But if I play this, it's going to be East Carolina and the under.
You can't.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone disagrees with me. It's no one in the comments section yet. Clint Zerligan, East Carolina, plus 6.5 second bet. Justin McKelvey, East Carolina, +6 in my pocket. But, this is the kind of game where if East Carolina had a nice edge like I thought, sitting here doing this video, it'd be down to 5 minus 113 or 4.5. But it's not. It's still at 6, and at some sharp places, even slightly juiced in favor of NC State. Andrew G., NC State not that good. Wow, -6.
Yeah,
Abby Cab, did you look at this one at all?
You keep at. I got you. I got something for all of them at least to say. This is a North Carolina State team that started the season ranked. They expected something, right? And just from game one, sucked. They did not play good all season. They barely played good enough to get here. They got their top receiver out. This is the bowl situation that we have been preaching about that sets up for ECU, in my personal opinion, because ECU has had a better second half of the season. They had to fight just to get here, right? So they're happy to be here. They want to be here. You said it's a rivalry game. So I mean, all in all, I think East Carolina is the play. I'd love to hear what the Earl brothers have to say on it. One of them does the school radio show for them. So that's badass that he does that. But I think the motivation and the want to is high on that side. And I don't know what North Carolina State's done to earn a 6-point spread. Put it down at 3 or 3.5. Maybe I'm a little more interested, but not here.
Yeah. And Grayson McCall retiring mid-season.
What'd you say?
Grayson McCall retiring mid-season. Having to have a new quarterback step up. Who knows where this NC State program goes next season? I think East Carolina's the side here.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to make at least East Carolina first half a play. I could take 3 plus 106 or 3.5 minus 112. I guess I'll take whatever. I'll take plus 3.5 minus 112. East Carolina first half plus 3.5 minus 112. That's an official play. I'll take that one. The money line, very tempting. First half at like plus 160. And the full game again. Look at that. Plus 6 minus 103, plus 7 minus 130. Yeah, I wonder what the there's some good players, some talent, legit talent on NC State sticking around for this game, no question about it. But they've got a ECU as like a havoc style defense that can cause issues. They got a quarterback who was who was playing well at the end of the year. Offense looks good. Let's see what people are saying. Lex Steele, NC State money line, okay. Action Jackson, ECU is okay. All right. Chris Zerligan, money line plus 200, worth a look. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. I guess I'll just stick with one play, and that will be the first half plus 3.5 minus 112, East Carolina. We'll see where this line closes. It'll be very interesting and maybe very telling. Here we go. You guys ready? Get ready. Here we go. Most interesting game on the card, in my personal opinion. I think I might just pass and watch. Maybe make a halftime play. It is the Alamo Bowl in Texas, BYU, Colorado. BYU started the year awesome, ATS, but they were not good in the last 4. They had 0-3-1 ATS the last 4. Closed the year. Colorado, of course, absolutely a juggernaut. ATS covered 9 out of their last 10 and ended it fucking 52 zip win over Oklahoma. They got the Heisman Trophy winner, right? They got Sanders at quarterback. Both of those guys are going to play. How long are they going to play? I don't know, but Dion seems like he's like motivating these guys to like not only care about the game but give it their best all the way to the end. So who knows what's actually going to happen? BYU though, not a slouch, and they haven't had excuse me, God,
Bless you.
They haven't had their top players opt out either. Sorry, hold on. I got to go to the bathroom. It's a lean for me. We'll start with you, Dabby Cab, and then we'll move to Kong Clips.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't look any other way than what Kong you've said. First half, look, might get some hate for this, but I'm just gonna say it. We've already seen it. Travis Hunter's a nerd, so if Dion wants him to play and try, that's what he's gonna do. Shout out to him for doing that. I appreciate that. He'll be there. Sanders is gonna play if his dad needs him to play, right? That we always talk, is their motivation. Well, dad needs them to play. They're going to play. They're going to do something, right? At least in the first half. And in my opinion, if they show up in the first half and it looks good, and then he pulls some of his players out or something like that, or they come out and then they don't look as good in the second half, it doesn't reflect that poorly on Dion, because everyone can say, "Oh, look at what happened. He took his players out." So I think they start early. I think Colorado early. I think they build that lead early, and then second half I might look BYU. But Colorado early, I'll be on that with you, Con. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Geez, the biggest game of the show, and I'm fucking like sneezing like a fucking nerd with allergies, which I guess is ultimately what I am on the inside. All right, Kong Clips, you're liking Colorado here, right?
Yeah, I'm on Colorado here, Pete. First half, said it earlier. The first half number is really weird. You're getting full game at 3.5. Cab said he could find a 3 in the first half. I like Colorado first half here. These guys are going to come to play. The question is how long. We've talked about that. I do believe they are flying the little old lady that comes to all the Colorado games. I think they're putting her on a private jet and flying her down to this bowl game. She said she wanted to see Colorado win a bowl game before she passed away. I think
that's dope.
Yeah, I think it sets up for Colorado in a big way in the first half. I want to play the full game so bad. I just don't know how long these guys are going to be in. Give me Colorado. When player props come out, I'm going to look at Shedeur Sanders passing touchdowns. I was on him all year. I probably play him again, and I do think that's going to give me an idea what that number comes out at, whether he plays full game or not. His passing touchdowns all season have been around 2.5. A couple games it was 3.5 at a little plus money. I think if this thing comes out at 2.5, minus 110 area, I think he plays most of the game. So we'll see. But
Hey,
Colorado for me.
You can get 2.5 on DraftKings, is what RVD said. And shout out to our friends at DraftKings. Now, make sure and search what legal books you can use, in your state, and use Pub Sports Radio. But let me say this: it's minus 120 for the 2.5 at a couple places, i.e., DraftKings. I'll take the 2.5. I'll lay the little bit of juice. It's minus 120, like I said, but that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Great comments in the comments section. Yeah, Clips, you seem to be very concerned they might not play the whole game. But my sense is I'm agree with Matty Ice here. He's saying if they play the whole game, unless it's a blowout, which I kind of agree with. But Dion, they asked Dion, are the players going to play in the bowl game? He's like, of course they're going to play. He's like, they're going to sit for a. Go ahead.
I try to put myself in his shoes.
That's daddy.
For some of these things, Pete. If you are the coach of potentially the top 2 of the top 3 picks in the draft.
Yeah, and they get injured in the bowl game.
And they get injured in the bowl game.
Why are you laughing at that?
I mean, that is pretty funny, though,
Yeah, that I wouldn't play him the whole game if it was me.
You're right. Dion's no fool.
But, yeah, right.
And what would Dion do if he was in that situation, too, right? But right. I do think that if they, we're saying that if they play, I'm standing by it. They come out, play early, and then show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a close game, maybe they play the full game. I just don't know that I see it being a close game. I think Colorado's hungry for this. Flying the little old lady out with them. This team has had the it factor all season long. Moving up from last year, they had all this hype around them and didn't do anything with it. This year they come out and they've improved. They're bringing in the number 1 overall quarterback recruit next season has already declared for Colorado. I think it's only up from here for the Colorado Buffaloes. And I think this win here just confirms that. And I think they come out and play. I think they come out and win.
There's definitely some support for BYU that I've seen in the betting community, and Pub Sports Radio's own Dougie Wise, BYU +4, and then says BYU wins this game outright. Wow. Matty Ice says they suit up, they play. Andrew G said, I remember that press conference, he brought her out. Dougie Wise saying she's not going to get to see it this year. Wow. Wow. Man. Wow. I really don't know. I really don't know what to think here, man. So much hype on this game. I'm just going to watch it. I hope y'all catch, although that's impossible because Dougie Wise liking BYU +4 to win outright. But again, Cons Clips very much like preferring Colorado first half to full game. So maybe Colorado rolls first half and then BYU comes all the way back and gets a win.
He said she's not going to get it this year. They better get. She might not even make it to this game. They better get it this year.
Yeah, I think. Amen. All right. Well, that one's going to be a pass for me. Next game on the card: Louisiana Tech, Army. This is the Independence Bowl, going to be played in Louisiana. Army a huge favorite here, of course. Marshall was supposed to play this game, but they opted out, so they gave it to Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech covered their last 5 games in a row. And in general, in college sports, I like to bet on teams that, quote unquote, don't deserve to be there, like the play-in, like the teams that win the play-in game in March Madness, stuff like this. And this is Louisiana Tech. This is a perfect example of it. Textbook case of this, right? Louisiana Tech wasn't going to get a bowl game. Marshall opts out, so now they get it. Now they're getting 17 points against Army or so. Army, of course, started the year great ATS, ended it terribly ATS, then blew out Tulane as a 5-point dog in their conference championship game, and then got blown out as a 6-point favorite in the Army-Navy game. So Army clearly a talented team, but very up and down. And, Louisiana Tech lost some portal players. but their quarterback, I think, has been good. The redshirt freshman, Bullock, he's going to play here. I'm liking Louisiana Tech getting this many points. Louisiana Tech. I'm making an official play. We'll start with you, Dabby Cap. What do you think? Louisiana Tech plus all these points?
Army talked about it all season, and even with the way they finished, was a wagon for our guy Kong. I watched him on Saturday's Cash on him, and I'm the asshole who took him against Navy and Tulane, and I went 0-2 betting Army this year, which is hard to do for a team that covered as much as they did. So this is my own personal recency bias on this, but I wouldn't be betting Army here. Just and a lot of what we talk about in these bowl games is where teams are trending to right now. Well, after losing to Navy, I can't feel like, I'd feel good about Army. Again, this is a service academy school, so it might be a little easier to motivate, or a different locker room atmosphere. But I'm not feeling very good after missing out on the biggest game against Notre Dame and then losing to Navy. If I'm Army, I'm not feeling great about it. So personally, La Tech might line up here, but I'm not betting this game.
I mean, Army, sure, the Navy game was bad, but they freaking blew out Tulane as a dog, decent sized dog in the conference championship game. Kong slipped.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a good point. Winning the conference championship is that's true. That's very true. And it's their first time.
I'm gonna somehow I feel like I have to go back to the well here. Army losing the big game to Navy. I got bent over in that game. It wasn't the same Army team. They come out tight. Bryson Daly wasn't making the throws he had made all season long. He was either overthrowing his receivers. He was leading them too much. They couldn't get the run game going. Playing a team in Navy that practices every day against triple option. I think that's where that game went to die. Army coming off of this Navy loss. Does this team? It's a service academy. They're going to play tough anytime they play. Do they come out off the loss to Navy and end their season on a high note? I like to think so. I cashed, I think it was 9 tickets this season with Army. It's hard for me not to be on Army here. Haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I probably do. I probably play Army here and lay the big points. La Tech coming in wasn't supposed to be here. This was supposed to be Marshall. Marshall didn't have enough guys to dress for this game, so they opted out of the bowl game. La Tech's the only team that stepped up and said, "Hey, we will come and play."
Yeah. Well,
Army I think I'm going to have to play it, Pete. I made so much money on Army this season. Win, lose, or draw, I think I almost have to play Army just for myself. If they cover and I don't play it, I'll feel like I missed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, is Dabby there? What happened? What's going on here? All right. Well, all right. I understand. I mean, Army, of course, when they're rolling, they're like, unstoppable. Ron Lofton says, feels like a 31-10 type game. I can see that. There you have Lex Steele plus 17, Tomas, Army to cover. So, opinions on both sides here. Matty I says, I can't bet Army not laying this many. I'm going to make an official play. I'll take it. Yeah, they could get absolutely steamrolled. But I'm going to take Louisiana Tech plus 17, minus 116. Army could get a comfortable win here and still not cover. That's a big line. And again, in general, I'm always looking hard at betting on college teams in the situation where they, quote unquote, don't deserve to be there, which is kind of the situation here for Louisiana Tech. And again, quarterback, redshirt freshman, has been good. Actually led the Conference USA in completion percentage I'm seeing here. So, and he'll be there. They lost a bunch of guys to the portal, but I'm going to take a shot with, I think it's also going to be a low scoring game. Could be a backdoor cover. Army could, extend out to a lead and just not get over the 17. But I'm going to take a shot with Louisiana Tech as an official play. If it loses, that's all right. And the last bowl game that we're going to cover in today's show, next week we'll cover a whole bunch more, is the Music City Bowl in Tennessee, Iowa against Missouri. This is another interesting one. Maybe the third most interesting bowl game on the card behind the BYU game and the other one that we said was interesting. I forgot what it was. Oh, yeah, the Vanderbilt game. Missouri's a small favorite here, you know, and you know, I don't know. I'm thinking that Missouri might be worth a shot in general. Yeah, actually, I really don't know. You know, I don't know what to think about this game. I think I'm going to pass. Iowa, both these teams were good ATS to close the season. Missouri covered 6 out of their last 7. Iowa's dangerous in bowl games and dangerous in general as a dog, though. So it always makes me nervous to fade Iowa in a bowl game or as a dog, even if it's just a small line like this. But, you know, Missouri, the quarterback Brady Cook, it's his last game with Missouri, and he had an injury in the middle of the season, right? So he missed part of his year. So it's not like he had a full year and it's his last game. It's like he didn't get a full year in, and now it's his last game. And, you know, Iowa's quarterback is going to be, I think, Sullivan, right? And he's coming back from an injury. You know, they have a run-first offense. I'm looking at this game and thinking that Iowa's going to have a hard time scoring. Good defensive effort, but the Missouri should be able to come away with it. But that's the way it feels in a lot of Iowa games, and they just tend to be – it tends to be a sucker bet to bet against them when they're a dog. I've seen this many times in my handicapping career, leaning Missouri, but it's so treacherous to fade Iowa as a dog or in a bowl. Con Slips, what do you think?
Yeah, I lean Missouri here too, Pete. Like you said, Brady Cook's last game, he did miss part of his season. I think he's going to be without his big receiver in this one. But I like Missouri overall, talent-wise, over Iowa. This is going to be a decent game. The total sitting at 40.5. I think it could just get over that. Sneaky overlook here. Lean Missouri, haven't played it yet, but I might get to Missouri here.
Yeah, this is, you know, it's a tough one. Yes, Missouri, their top passing guy Luther Burden, he's going to be out, but you know they still have other guys who are good. You know, they had a very good offensive line during the regular season. A couple of those guys will be out, which is not good, but they still should be strong. On defense, though, you know, I'm looking at most of their guys are going to be back for defense for Missouri, so they won't have much of a downgrade there. Again, it's just like it just winds up being the wrong side to fade Iowa as a dog. What do you think, Abby Cab? Anything on this one?
Yeah, this has moved, you know, just a little bit. -1.5 to the 3. It was -1.5 Missouri at the start, I think, and then moved to the 3.
Yeah.
I got to be there with you guys on the Missouri side, probably. I mean, you touched on Sullivan, the quarterback. He's the only quarterback on the team that's even got a scholarship at this point. So, you know, if anything happens to him, and he's just coming back from injury, but if anything happens to him, you're looking at like a walk-on or something, or a receiver playing quarterback or something. I mean, this is just a very not deep Iowa football team here in this situation. And even though Missouri's got people missing, this is still an SEC school. You know, it's not as next man up as Alabama or A&M or Georgia or some of these teams, but it's still, you know, they've still got people waiting, ready to go. I like Missouri here. I'd probably still lay it even at 3.
I've just seen this so many times. It's like you are at Iowa, you know, well, they have a run-first offense that can be good, but the star running back, they got Caleb Johnson out, right? So it's just like, where are the points going to come from? But one way or another, they just tend to get their points when they need to in big games as a dog, enough to cover, not necessarily to win, even when they're a small dog. I don't know, man. I think I might add on Missouri first half, though. I can't not do it. -137. Yeah, I could take -2.5, -102 or something. All right. I'll add it on. If it loses, that's all right. But I'm going to take Missouri first half money line, -137. Make that an official play. Full game is -151. You're right. It's up to -3. Let's see what people are saying in the comment section, if anything. Yeah. Yeah, Matty Ice, to me, Missouri has been one of the most disappointing teams this year. Not impressed with them at all. I agree. I agree. But I'll do it again. I'll take Missouri first half money line minus 137. Makes me very nervous. And that's it for our bowl games. All right, so I'll review the official plays that I've given. Again, last week I did have a good show with the official plays I gave. I'm taking Bowling Green full game minus 7.5 and first half minus 4.5. Vandy first half money line plus 112. Syracuse first half minus 9.5 minus 114. UConn first half plus a half plus 103. TCU first half minus 7 minus 103. Iowa State Miami first half over 27 minus 117. East Carolina first half plus 3.5 minus 112. Louisiana Tech plus 17 minus 116, and Missouri first half money line minus 137. All right, that's a nice little basket of picks and bets there. Dabby Cab, do you want to go over did you even write down your official plays?
I mean, I know what I'm going to go with. Like I said, I got to go in there and bet it. But I'm going to take the over in that UConn UNC game. Like I said, I'll probably just go ahead and take it. I'm going to take Hoover. I'm going to put his 2+ passing touchdowns with TCU money line. Props aren't out yet, but I'm probably going to take Hoover's passing prop also. I will tweet it out. I'm going to take Colorado first half with my guy Kong here. And then I liked the over in that Georgia Tech game. So I'm going to take the over in the Georgia Tech game also. You got both quarterbacks going. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, one of the better bowl games that we've got lined up. So that's enough. That's some. More than I thought.
And Kong's Clips, you want to shout out your favorite bets from these 18 bowls that we covered? Just whatever you're liking the most, you can just shout them out.
Yeah, so I haven't bet it yet, but I'm going to do it right after the show. Oklahoma Navy, under 43.5. I think it's a sneaky under. Oklahoma having problems scoring all season. I'm going to take the under 43.5. I'm going to take the over in Georgia Tech and Vandy, 51.5. I am going to play that stuff I've already played here. Miami first half minus 1.5. The over 55.5 in Miami, Iowa State. Colorado first half minus 2.5. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Pete, do you want me to touch on my playoff games real quick?
Oh, please touch on whatever you want, baby. Yes.
These lines are going to move. So just to get them out, they've already started moving a little bit. I'm on Penn State minus 10.5. I think they're just going to be too much. I think they're going to be too much for Boise State. Boise State's not going to be able to run on Penn State like they have all season on the Mountain West. So I'm on Penn State here. Texas minus 13.5 playing Arizona State. Texas, the bigger, stronger, more physical team. I'm laying the 13.5 with Texas. If this moves through the 14, which I think it has a chance of doing, 13.5 is my cutoff there. I'm not going to play Texas minus more than 2 touchdowns. Two of my better spots, I do believe. Oregon playing Ohio State, getting 2.5. We all just watched Ohio State dispatch Tennessee. So they come out as a favorite over Oregon. I think Oregon wins this game outright. I think they know how to play Ohio State. They did it already. They got the better quarterback. They've got the better coach. Oregon getting 2.5. And the over. These two teams have really good offenses. I haven't played this over yet, but I'm going to play this over. But Oregon, I really like Oregon here. On to Notre Dame and Georgia. You're going to have everybody. You're going to have everybody on Georgia here. You're coming in with the backup quarterback, Gunnar Stockton. Great name for a quarterback. If your name is Gunner, you should be a quarterback. I'm on Notre Dame here, Pete. I am on Notre Dame here. I gave this out at 2.5, and the line has dropped to 1.5. Haven't looked at where the money's at. I know how people bet on Georgia, and people seeing Georgia laying a small number or getting a really good number on Georgia money line. People are going to be all over Georgia here. And I'm on Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame beats Georgia outright. People have said all season long Notre Dame hasn't played anybody. What they just did to Indiana in that offense, this Notre Dame defense is for real. They have a really good defense. I think Notre Dame wins this outright, Pete, and I'm on Notre Dame. I got the money line. I got the plus 2.5. I could see this line dropping even more. I believe I know who wins this game. And I believe it's Notre Dame.
Some pretty bold claims there from Kong's Clips, Dabby Cab. Penn State rolls, Texas rolls, Oregon disrespected as a dog, and Notre Dame wins outright against Georgia. You agree or disagree with any of those, Dabby Cab?
I'll definitely be on Oregon. The Georgia ones, I never, and if Jose's trying to put graphics up, my bad, Jose. I never like going against people like Kirby Smart, even if it is one of those heavy favorites. I want to see how this line moves a little bit. I think this is going to be a great football game, though. I think under it might be the look right here. I think these two they're going to slug it out. And then, like I said, I like Oregon. I'll be on Oregon both ways. First half, full game. And probably take some Dylan Gabriel props in this game also. I think he has a big game passing. I don't know how I'll do it. I might, like I said with the other one, I might take Dylan Gabriel touchdowns and then parlay it with Oregon on the money line. That should be a real good plus money bet, probably maybe in the 200s or so. So that's probably something I'm going to take there. But I will be on Oregon first half, full game straight up.
All right. Well, Ron Lofton likes Arizona State plus 14. Justin McElvey, Penn State Smack City, and Clint Zerligan, Notre Dame, Oregon money line plus 350 money line parlay. Yeah, I mean, it does seem like that's Ohio State, awesome team, no doubt about it. But that's pretty disrespectful, man, to make Oregon a dog like that, right?
Yeah,
that is pretty disrespectful.
Yeah,
pretty disrespectful.
I think Oregon, I think Oregon wins the football game, and I think they win first half and full game. So I'm good with it.
I wonder if there's analytics that are saying that Oregon should be a dog like that. I mean, it's like
they were a dog in the first one, right?
The recency bias against Tennessee. How about the a little bit before that bias of the Michigan game? I mean, I know it's a rematch, but I'm just saying it's kind of disrespectful. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and Oregon won the first one, so it is disrespectful. Yeah, it's very disrespectful. Yeah.
I do think it's a recency bias, Pete. Everybody just seen what Ohio State did to Tennessee. Tennessee had trouble all season long when they stepped up in competition. So I think Oregon wins this outright. And just a heads up, I think we have a Notre Dame Oregon championship game.
Oh, you could probably bet that.
Already have.
Wow.
I gave Notre Dame out preseason to win the championship at plus 2,200, and I gave Oregon out at plus 800 to win the championship. So I'm in a good spot, I believe. I'm trying to look and see where the money's at now on this Georgia game. See if we have reverse line movement like I think we do.
Yeah, I mean, Matty Ice saying OSU lost by 1 at Eugene. This is easy. Now it's on a neutral field.
So Matty we have
Natty Ice, right team is favored. Ducks are losing, getting points for a reason. Yeah.
So here, Pete, we have 68% of the money on Georgia and 68% of the bets on Georgia. And this line has dropped a point.
Right.
Reverse line movement in the favor of the Fighting Irish. So I think I'm on the right side according to the market. We'll see.
All right.
I got
Well,
team.
I would say I hope both you and Matty Ice cash on that Oregon game, but that's literally impossible. So, wow. Well, we've made some great video content here. That's for damn sure. Even if the bets we've all made can't all win. Wow, Kong's Clips, motherfucker! Thank you so much for joining us. Last minute, unexpected, but that's what's so fun about this community we built here. And of course, Dabby Cab, as always. Thank you so much. And we're gonna be back next Tuesday, right? What is that? New Year's Eve? What is that?
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. Yeah, New
You
Year's
don't
Eve.
have to be, but I'll be here.
No, I'll be here, Pete. Man, you know how ready I am for it to transition to college basketball full. I love college football, but I love college basketball too. So
all right. And Kong's Clips, if you want to join us next Tuesday for to cover more bowl games, you're of course more than welcome to. Or if you
I will be at work, Pete. I do work next Tuesday. It's a shame to have to work on New Year's Eve. I'm off New Year's Day. I could hop in. But Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas to everybody. Shout out to the chat. We got the best damn chat going. Shout out to you, Pete. Merry Christmas, brother. Merry Christmas, Cab. Love you guys. Have a great day. Let's cash some tickets. I'm out.
Let's cash those tickets. Kong Clips, thank you so much. All right, Dabby.
I don't got to give that outro like that. I'll be back next week with you, Pete. I love you guys. Kong did it great, man. I love you, Pete.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you next Tuesday, Dabby Cab. All right. And now to wrap up the show, Jose Bouquett, is Brizzy available? Is Brizzy there? Oh, there we go. Billy Brisbane. All right. We got 5 NBA games on tomorrow's card. Of course, this is a huge slate. Sportsbook usually offer like promos and shit and contests and stuff. So look for those. I do enjoy NBA betting, but I tend to make a lot of my bets very close to tip and live or halftime. Pre-game, I'm a little bit lost, but that's why we have you here, Dabby Cab. I haven't looked too deeply into these games at all. But, and of course, these games are tomorrow. So if you're not sure either, that's totally fine. Anything that you can tell us about the Christmas Day games right now, we would very much appreciate. First game on the card, Spurs and the Knicks. Spurs and the Knicks, right? Knicks are a big favorite here, 9-point favorites. And the Knicks covered 4 in a row. They're definitely playing very well right now. Spurs, though, also covering recently. Nice win over Portland, covered against Philly. Before that, of course, they were losing ATS. Huge line here. Is it justified? What do you think, Billy?
Yeah, before we get started, I just want to say shout out to everybody in chat. Happy holidays. Shout out to everybody in the chat that is joining with us on this very Christmas Eve, talking about these NBA games. I think the hardest spot to play on Christmas Day is the early East Coast game in MSG. The Christmas morning routine is just pushed a lot earlier than usual, but I guess when you're Wemby's age, maybe the same routines don't really apply. That's going to be really the headline for this game is Wemby takes on MSG. It's the first time in 7 seasons that the Spurs have had a winning record heading into the Christmas break, and 7 players in their lineup are averaging double-digit points. The New York Knicks, I think, in my opinion, have been the second best team in the East after their sluggish first start of the season. I feel like the combination of Brunson and Towns, it's just been really working. They've been averaging 117.3 points per game, which is sitting 6th in the NBA, and they're allowing 109.9 points per game, which is 8th in the NBA. The Knicks' offensive efficiency has been very impressive this season, scoring and shooting-wise. It'll be a key point of emphasis for their season will be their shooting. But if the Spurs are able to take advantage of this early time start with having such a young roster, I feel like they can backdoor cover this line. The Sixers game didn't really go their way last night, but I think that game was a prime example of the Spurs are a team that will give you some entertaining games, but still a little bit too young down the stretch of games. One of the Christmas traditions I usually have in this first game is to bet the first half under. Looking at this year's matchup, it kind of creates some more appeal than usual. The Spurs have gone first half under in their game total in 21 out of their 28 away games played. On the season, the Spurs are the best third quarter ATS team in the NBA, so that means they're one of the worst first half teams in the NBA. And with this being the early start time, I could definitely see some clanks on the back of the rim here. The NBA games are kind of a showcase spot for these athletes, but the first game is always a little bit of a waking up everyone on the floor. There's a stat right here. Overs are 14-6 on Christmas Day in the last 4 years.
Huh. Oh, I'm writing this all down. Overs 14-6 on Christmas Day games last 4 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first half under on that one might be worth a shot. And thank you so much. I'll thank you personally for the double tip that I tailed last week, Billy Brisbane. That was a very nice winner for me. The more I looked into it, the more I liked it, and I tailed it. Yeah, that might be.
Let's talk a little bit more about some player props then. There's a
go
lot
ahead.
of player props to be had in this one. Karl Anthony Towns, double-double. I mean, it's going to be juice out the gazills, but if you want to use it as a parlay piece, I mean, he has had a double-double in 17 straight games. Over 1.5 3-pointers. He's gone over his 3-point prop line in 6 out of his last 9 games during the month of December so far. And then on the other side of the ball, Chris Paul over 7.5 assists. He's been picking it up these last couple of weeks during the month of December so far. He's gone over his assist prop line in 8 out of his last 9 games playing a lot more minutes in the month of December so far. And then one under that I like in this game is Devin Vassell under 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists, or under 20.5 points and assists. He's been a great contributor for the Spurs as they build for the future, but just in general, this is a really bad matchup for him, either getting guarded by OG Anunoby or Josh Hart. He's only averaged 9.7 points per game over his last 3 meetings versus the New York Knicks, so I like his under.
Which one is that again?
Devin Vassell.
Okay, yeah, let me see if I can find a line here. Do you have a line on that one?
Yeah, under 24.
Oh, there we go.
Rebounds.
I have like 24.5, pretty heavily juiced though.
Yeah, I would take it.
Right. Okay, I'm writing all this down. I might tail all of them. RA under 24.5. All right. Next game on the slate is Minnesota Dallas, right? And you know, Dallas a decent sized favorite here against Minnesota. Minnesota's now lost 3 in a row, straight up and ATS, right? They lost 3 in a row, straight up, all of them as a small favorite. Now they're going on the road here against Dallas, coming off of 2 big wins, Clippers and Portland, and then before that they rolled Golden State. So Dallas, and then of course in recent memory, Dallas was covering game in, game out. You couldn't buy a loss against them. So I guess all things considered, once again, don't overthink it. Dallas -5 or 5.5. Is that what you're leaning here?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but for time consumption purposes, this is Christmas Eve for everybody. My thoughts on the Timberwolves are a little bit different. They've been the most profitable team I've bet on in the last month, so this little recent stretch of games hasn't really been too concerning for me. They've lost consecutive games coming into this one, but Dallas has been really good at recent, going 13-3 in their last 16 games. But my favorite play on this game is actually the under. The under is 9-3 in Mavericks games when they're home favorites this season. It's kind of a clash of styles where Minnesota ranks 24th in pace and Dallas ranks 7th in pace. But with the return of Luka back in the lineup, he's always good for a slow-paced game. Both teams have been good at defending the three-point line, 4th and 11th in three-point defenses for both teams. And if you want to go greasy narrative theory, thought this will be the first time that the Netflix will be on the NFL. So I think this game goes under.
All right. So that's going to – I mean, obviously 20 games is not a tiny sample size. It's not a huge sample size, but you're not too fazed by that? Or is that something you're thinking about in general, that leaning towards the overs in general, but willing to go against it in individual spots?
So it's weird. Like in the first game, I think the game could definitely sneak over because the line's so low. But I think the first half could just be a clank fest. Like a lot of times in basketball, I mean, we'll talk about one of these games from last night that are on the Christmas slate today or for tomorrow. And that game looked like a certified fucking over throughout the first 3 quarters. And then that fourth quarter, it was such a blowout, it just went under. So I feel like with some of these games, NBA games are really weird. Like it's a tale of pass for real. And I just feel like in many cases and scenarios, I feel like this game could go under a lot. In the Timberwolves win, I think that means Dallas didn't score that much. And if Dallas wins and if they cover, that probably means Minnesota is just kept on having that shooting consistency as they keep on having. And it's actually funny. NBA teams getting 50% of the bets on Christmas Day are 35 and 48 ATS since 2005. So the most public team that has bet on this whole entire card for Christmas is the Dallas Mavericks -5.5 with 81% of the bets coming in on them so far.
Wow. Wait, so say that again. Sorry, I was as you were talking about that, I was eyeing the box score from the Phoenix-Denver game last night. I pounded the second half over 118.5. 73 points in the third quarter. I'm like, I am a genius. I literally am a genius. 28 points. I couldn't believe it.
I was like, believe it either. That would look like a certified bucket over for like 3 quarters.
I was going to call up ESPN. I'd be like, your scoreboard is messed up. You need to get your tech people on this. Turned out it wasn't. But all right, tell me that again. The public teams, say that stat again, please. Thank you very much.
Shouts to Sean Higgity Hot Dog.
Hell yeah.
He says, Merry Christmas Eve, Loshak and Billy Higgs. Best man in the field. Hopefully we get to see some more polos for the upcoming year, Higgs. I love the swag for the end of this year.
Shoot, everyone freaking follow Sean Higgs, and I'm gonna try my best to get to Bet Bash this year. Mostly to see Sean Higgs, and then have to see everyone else, whoever's going to be there. Huge shout out to Sean Higgs. Sean Higgs, hit us up with any bowl game picks you want to hit us up with, Sean Higgs. We would appreciate it. Or 0 is fine as well. Anything you want to hit us up with, any bowl game bets you're liking from upcoming bowl games. Thanks very much, Sean Higgs. All right, so tell us again, Brizzy, what was the stat?
Yeah, NBA teams getting 50% of the bets on Christmas Day are 35 and 48. ATS since 2005.
50% or more of the bets. Wow. Okay. And Dallas getting a lot of bets here. All right. Well, Kong's Clips, he likes Dallas -5.5. So maybe they'll be one of the.
Do with the information that you want. That doesn't mean that the public sides aren't going to pay out. I mean,
yeah, of course. It's just an interesting thing to keep in mind. All right. You want to move on, or any prop bets you want to discuss from that game?
No prop bets for this one. I would really advise you. I don't want to get too greasy narrative theory on Christmas Eve, but I really like the fucking under in this game. I feel like if you're gonna you either got to take Dallas or you take the under. You either roll the dice and hold hands with the public with Dallas, or you roll the dice and you bet the under.
All right. Okay, let's move on. Billy Brisbane, next game on the card, Sixers Boston. I did have Orlando second half last night, so that was very nice. That made up for some of the pain of the other loss. Boston now, what is, look at this, 2-3, wow, losing ATS. Boston, not a very good team, ATS, for quite a while. They get their wins straight up. ATS, not a very good team. Here they are, laying 10 to Philly, who also is a little bit on a bit of an ATS slump right now, but they were a little bit closer, not particularly embarrassing. Then, of course, before that, they were on a run of winning. So here you go. Boston clearly, for a while now, has been, in general, overvalued, getting their covers here and there as the 12-point favorites, and they'll get their covers. More often than not, though, losing ATS, Christmas Day. You think this is one where they're, all right, it's Christmas Day, we're going to roll it home? You like Boston here, -10?
Yeah, it was kind of a debacle last night in Philadelphia when Wemby and company came into town with Embiid being ejected after 11 minutes of play. Maxey was able to get the job done, though, putting up a pretty fat stat line, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. The Sixers have been able to pick up their form, though, since Thanksgiving. The Sixers have had the 5th best record in the NBA, 6th best defense, and the 9th best net rating in the NBA. There's no secret that Boston's the best team in the NBA, despite the Cavs having the best record. But that kind of leaves them a liability for Vegas with them covering the spreads from night in to night out. Kind of a similar theory to the Chiefs in football. Last night's loss versus Orlando Magic, the Celtics did not play Jason Tatum, but Missoula did have a short roster of only 8 rotational players being used. The big 3 of Porzingis, Brown, and White all played 35-plus minutes. It's been hard backing the Celtics at these inflated lines, going 11 and 18 ATS and only 5 and 10 ATS at home this year. There's always an emphasis for Christmas Day games for the NBA to be competitive and good. And I do expect this one to start off close in the beginning, with Philadelphia kind of getting off to a good start. I mean, Embiid only played 11 minutes in that game last night. The Celtics have had the Sixers number, though, since that series in Boston a couple years ago where we lost in Game 7. Head-to-head-wise, Philadelphia versus the Celtics have gone 7-3 in the last 10 meetings, with double-digit wins in each of the last 3 games for the Celtics. During the Missoula era, during the regular season, the Celtics are 36-13 straight up and 27-21 and 1 ATS this last season, or in the last couple of seasons that he's been the coach, and 5-1 ATS off of a loss this season. So basically, you back the Celtics off a loss. That's basically the moral of the story here. It could be a backdoor cover, but Boston's going to win this game, I think, pretty comfortably. I just don't. I see people are betting the Sixers, but I just don't see it. I'm a Sixers fan. I just don't see it for this one. When it comes to the total at first glance, you would kind of agree with the odds makers with the way that it's going. But I feel like this game, there's just too much offensive talent on the floor for both teams, with the offense efficiency being a bigger factor for me than pace of play. I think the best bet in this game is the Boston Celtics team total over 115.5. That is not available yet, but I would take that or Boston Celtics double result. I think they're going to come out hot early and often, and I like the over on this game, over 221.5.
Okay, there you go. A Christmas Day over. Yeah, Boston has been a good fade in general for quite a while now. The over might be all right. I'm going to write that down.
Some good player prop trends to look at for this one was Tatum. He's gone over his rebound prop in each of his last 7 games, averaging 11.3 rebounds per game. On the season, the Sixers ranked 28th in rebounds per game. Derek White has really good head-to-head history versus the Sixers. He's gone over his three-point prop in 4 out of his last 5 games, and versus the Sixers, he's gone over in 3 out of his last 4 games, averaging 18.3 points per game. Seems like a matchup problem for us. And then we also don't have Jared McKing coming off the bench, so could be a good night for Derek White as well. Paul George over 10.5 rebounds and assists. While it's been a slower start for PG-13 scoring-wise, he's been able to contribute in other categories outside of scoring, being kind of like the main facilitator in our offense. And then the last one is Tyrese Maxey, 3+ three-pointers. He's been having a hot hand coming into Boston. He's had 3+ threes in 6 straight games, shooting the ball very well. 42.6% from the three-point line, going over his three-point prop in each of his last 4 games played.
Okay. Sounds good, Brizzy. Next game, Christmas Day, Lakers, Golden State. Lakers coming off a loss to Detroit as a home favorite. Before that, though, they had been covering, right? They rolled Sacramento twice. Suddenly, the Lakers for a run for about a week, 10 days, a good bet. Now they're going into Golden State, getting a few points, and Golden State, they're coming off of their own home favorite loss to Indiana. Again, this is a classic NBA game where I'm sure there's a great bet pregame. I just don't know what it is. Golden State laying 3.5 or so. Total about 225. What's the good bet here? I don't know, but I might know after I listen to what you have to say. Brizzy, what do you think?
Yeah, some of the Lakers' recent form has been concerning, but if there has been one bright side, LeBron has kind of looked like himself again. I mean, he's coming off that triple-double. It's his 8th one, despite it being a losing effort. It kind of seems like that trip to, I guess, Germany or whatever has really worked out, because over his last 5 games, LeBron has averaged 27.2 points per game, 8.6 assists, and 8.4 rebounds per game, which is like prime LeBron numbers. As a team, I feel like the Lakers, just typical Achilles heel every year that we talk about, is their 3-point shooting. I mean, goddamn, man, they're only making 11 3-pointers per game, 27th in the NBA. And defending the paint, they're allowing 52 points per game in the paint, which is pretty absurd, having AD down low and that number being that high. Golden State kind of put up a dud in a look-ahead Christmas spot for this game, with Curry kind of having an off-night shooting, going 2 for 13, missing his first 5 3-point attempts. It was really Kuminga leading the team in scoring 26 points off the bench. This feels like a back-and-forth game in the beginning, but once the Warriors come out in the second half, I kind of expect them to take over. Looking at the data for this game, the Lakers are the 3rd worst scoring team in the NBA in the 3rd quarter, with the Warriors averaging the most points in the NBA in the 3rd quarter, and expecting Curry to kind of be quiet in back-to-back games. It's really just not likely. If the Warriors are getting their shots going from deep, I just don't see how the Lakers are able to hit enough shots back. The pace of play-wise, the Warriors are 8th in the NBA and 11th in 3-point shooting, and the Lakers are 21st defensive-wise. AD is going to do whatever he wants down low, but that's the typical story in every Lakers game. Him and LeBron can't be the only contributors to rely on from night to night. And with this being an 8 p.m. game, this kind of seems like the new primetime spot for the NBA after everybody eats dinner. I think there'll be plenty of live opportunities in this game to get on either side, but I think the Warriors are going to pull this one out on Christmas Day.
Okay, I trust you, Brizzy. What do you think of any player props or anything you're looking player prop wise, or you just think straight taking on the Warriors, don't overthink it?
I'm just going to go straight Warriors and not overthink it.
Okay.
If I lose, I lose. Fuck it.
All right. Next game on the card, last game Christmas Day, Denver Nuggets. I don't usually go on tilt when it comes to sports betting, but when I do, it's usually because of an NBA total that gets completely screwed. in the fourth quarter, something that looked like it was going to win by 20, winds up losing by double digits. And that's what happened to me last night. Denver, Phoenix, 73 points in the third quarter and some horrific sub-30 number in the fourth quarter. Now it's the rematch in Phoenix. Denver, of course, blew them out by 30 at home. Now they're going into Phoenix. Phoenix only getting 3 points. Home dog. Total is 234. If you want to bet that over, be my guest. I'm not going to. I'm tilted for this one, Billy Brisbane. What do you like, if anything, for Denver Phoenix, the rematch?
Man, I'm glad it's Christmas Eve because I got to sleep on this one a little bit here. This is, as of right now, this is probably like my favorite spot of the card, just situational wise. The injury news report will probably be major for this one, as I expect Booker to be in despite him not playing the last couple of nights. But for the Nuggets, I don't think Jamal Murray is going to be suiting up for this one again. And it's going to be a third game in 4 nights for the Nuggets here. These two teams literally just played last night, and in a game that looked like it was going to go over for the first 3 quarters. But the lead of the Nuggets led to both teams kind of resting their starters in the fourth quarter. This kind of feels like the good old flip-flop theory spot, despite the under hitting 5 out of the last 6 times when these two teams have played. I like the over in the spot. Last night's game, it was really just Loshak like really handling the ball and creating and distributing the responsibilities in the game. He had 32 points, 7 assists, and went 12 for 17 field goal wise before not playing the whole entire fourth quarter. I feel like the Nuggets are going to catch the public appeal, winning 5 out of their last 6 games. And while they're in better form heading into this spot, I like the situational spot for the Suns a little bit more. I feels like they didn't really reveal their cards last night. Booker didn't play. They got blown out. Nobody played in the fourth quarter for a look-ahead spot for this one tonight. I like the double result here for this game. Phoenix Suns double result and the over on the total 233.5. The Nuggets are one of the worst first half teams in the NBA, going 7-20 first half ATS this season, 4-11 on the road first half this year. I'm just going to keep on fading the Nuggets first half full game. I don't think this is that good of a basketball team. I think Nikola Jokic is obviously one of the best players in the NBA, probably the best player in the NBA, the most he's MVP. He's MVP for a reason, but I just don't feel like this is a trap line, trap number. I like the Suns, and I like a double result money line and the over. The over might make you your money back if the Suns decide to do some bullshit, but it's usually the Suns do the foo-foo, Pete, when it's when they're laying points. We're getting points at the crib. Christmas
We're getting
Day.
3.
We're getting 3 at the crib. Christmas Day. I guess we'll fade Nikola Jokic in the Serbian international views. This is America, Pete. America.
Yeah, it sure is.
Kevin Booker
sure is.
be able to end out my Christmas night.
Well, Phoenix has lost 7 of their last 8 ATS, although you're right. You have to go back quite a while to find a home dog. Oh, no, not that far. Here you go. Home dog Knicks, lose. Home dog Orlando. I'm talking about ATS here.
No Kevin
Lose.
Durant in both of those games.
What'd you say?
No Kevin Durant in both of those games.
Okay.
You can't.
All right.
You can't look at you can't when you cap a Suns game. This is where you first start off. You can't look at the last month because you have to look at who played in the games. Because if Kevin Durant doesn't play, they suck. They're like 2-9 without Kevin Durant on the court. Devin Booker hasn't played the last 2 games. Bradley Beal, he decides when he wants to show up and doesn't want to show up. So if everybody's playing, let's throw out all the numbers and just look at the people that are on the court.
No, I hear you. I'm just, last 2 home games, 2 margin straight up losses as a home fave. No, but I think you're right. Matty Ice saying line screams Phoenix, and I think you're right. If Phoenix rolls, it's probably more likely to be a first half than full game. All right, Billy Brisbane, let me ask you one quick question. You gave us that stat, 14-6 Christmas Day overs last 4 years. We got 5 games here. If you had to pick one game on this card to go over, which would it be?
Can I full game total? I really think it hasn't came out yet, but if the Celtics team total over is at 115.5 or 116, I'm just gonna take it.
So you think if you had to pick one game as most likely to go over, it would be the Sixers Celtics, like 222 or 222.5?
No, I think the most likely game to go over is the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns. The second one would probably be the Philadelphia 76ers, Boston Celtics. The third one would be the Lakers and the Warriors. And then I feel like Warriors, you're going to be able to get on that one live, though. It's going to be one of those games where, like, if you bet the total, just don't look at the live line. The Minnesota-Dallas game, I think that game goes under. I would be probably my most confident under. And then the Spurs-Knicks game, I really think that goes first half under, but, like, they bullshit some way to go over on the full game.
And I also like your Chris Paul over 7.5 assists, like minus 120 or so. All right, well, these games don't go till tomorrow. Billy Brisbane, happy holidays to you. What are you doing? You got anything going on these next few days, or you taking a little break?
No breaks over here at Pub Sports Radio. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe button. Follow me over on X at Getting Bills. Got a lot of cool shit coming up, and packages coming out January 1st. So no days off, getting ready. Hopefully we could record a locker room podcast or two. Shouts to anybody that's listened to the locker room podcast. We appreciate your guys' support. This year we went over on YouTube and we crushed on the numbers and stuff like that, and it wouldn't be without you guys in the chat. So me speaking for the Locker Room Podcast, thank you guys for
hell yeah, Billy Brisbane. Happy holidays. We'll see you next Tuesday, baby. All right, Jose Bouquett, come back in. That's it. We got it. I think we got some good content here.
Yeah, you did it, Pete. You did it.
Yeah, I'm thinking that
you look great, by the way, in the blouse.
Yeah, Mark Jacobs. Yes, Mark Jacobs. Look, I mean, when you hit first half team totals like I do, there are some benefits to that.
Well, Pete, Helga was in the room just now, and she walked by. When you said Mark Jacobs, she turned her head, and she was impressed.
Yeah. Oh, and Mark Jacobs, she's like, is that a bootleg Mark Jacobs? No, it's real. It's legit. It's the real thing. It's the real
she's impressed. I have to show her your blouse.
Mark Jacobs, you also have to be able to pull it off, which I can and do. Yeah. Thank you very much. Along with the shades from De Niro at the end of Casino, and my little Ryan's daughter hat. Ryan's daughter, great place on the Upper East Side to relax, have a corned beef sandwich, and beer.
That sounds great. Well, Pete, by the way, the corned beef sandwich sounds great, but I'll let you know they reopened a new place right across the street from Southtown 101 that I'm sure you're going to be very interested to tell me about. I have not tried it. I won't try it until you tell me how good it is at Pubba Palo 4. So I cannot wait for all of that.
Absolutely. Going to be great. All right. So just to review, this is a betting show. Let's see. I think I'm going to, I probably will tail Phoenix first half. I think that Knicks game first half under is probably good. I think the Boston-Philly game over, because there's going to be an over. These aren't going to go all unders. I think that's a good candidate to go over. The bowl games, I got a bunch of stuff that's a little bit iffy. The Missouri first half money line, that is very iffy. Louisiana Tech, also a little iffy. East Carolina, maybe a little iffy. But I'm liking the TCU first half. I think that's good. Jose Bouquett, I loved UTSA. I was going to talk to you about it, but I bet that one first half bowl game. Very, very obvious because, again, same deal. Motivated team playing a team.
Pete, can I give you a play for tonight?
Yeah.
Just go ahead and take the over in the Hawaii Bowl. Just go ahead and take that over. So it was 62.5 up to 65. Sharp money on the over. 38% of the bets, about 78% of the money on the over. I took it. I'm on the over 65 if you want action tonight. But yeah, I'll take that over.
That makes a whole lot of sense. All right. I guess that's it. Anything else we got to huge shout out to Sean Higgs. Cons Clips for jumping on. Matty Ice for being in here talking everything. Every game we talked about, Matty Ice chiming in with incredibly invaluable opinions, thoughts, stats once in a while. Shout out to Matty Ice. All right. Nothing else you need to mention, right, Jose Bouquett?
No, we're good. We'll be back here very soon. Yep. 31st, I think you said it was accurate, New Year's Eve. So we'll talk about a bunch of bowl games, the playoffs, et cetera then.
Yep. Whatever we can talk about, we'll talk about. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday.